Welcome to America's Day at the Races on Fox Sports 2. It's brought to you in part by America's Best Racing. For the love of the race, visit americasbestracing.net today. Good to have you with us on this Friday afternoon. Greg Wolf alongside four-time Major League All-Star Paul LoDuca, who's going bold in the Preakness. We'll talk more about that race coming up later on. And New York Racing Association handicapper Andy Serling. We're coming right up on race number 4 here this afternoon. It's a mile and a 16th on the turf. And let's take a look at some of the key contenders in this race. Mango M, 3-2 on the board right now for Shug McGahee.
And I think he is the favorite just because the lone win was here at Belmont. To where you have with the horse, and I do like him, is the one win was gate to wire, and he's not going to have the lead in here. He's going to have to pass the 9 L&Z.
Meanwhile, Steelers fan for life. A little long shot on the inside at 9-1, Andy.
Yeah, I think Steelers fan for life. The truth is, you look at this race, and Paul's right. Mango M's the horse to beat. 8-5 is a fair price, but as he said, horse that's native the lead when he only raced he won was in the front end. So you start looking at the options, and at least to me on paper there aren't that many options. And Steelers fan for life, well, his last race in the turf was bad. He chased wide on a course where you had to be inside. His other 3 turf races are all good, and I think a lot of people are going to look at him and say he's in terrible form because he's run terribly in his last couple starts. Those were in the dirt. This horse cannot stand up in the dirt. He's a completely different horse in the turf, and I think he's on the right surface today, and he's found the right field to be competitive at a price.
Here's another one who's taken some support. New Jersey John from Mike Deeney, comes in from Tampa.
You know, this is a corner horse that another horse that at least has 3 wins, does have a win at Belmont, Andy, and has been able to show tactical speed and a little bit of speed. I mean, this could be the other horse laying second or third, somewhere in that area.
He's absolutely a logical player in this race. My problem is that when you pointed out, that was an excruciatingly slow pace. And that time of the year, when the courses get pretty baked in July, they were walking. It was a 5-horse field he was able to control, and it's obviously a different dynamic today. Having said that, he's obviously good enough to be a major player here.
Pick 6 starts here. The NYRA Bets Late Pick 5 begins in our next race in the 5th from Belmont. You can play along, bet all the races that we show you each and every day by getting signed up and started with NYRA Bets. Bet $200. You get a $200 new member bonus when you use the promo code LIVE at sign up. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime at NYRABets.com or download the NYRA Bets app as we look again at Mango M, 7-5 heavy favorite.
It feels like, I know he's coming off a layoff, so I guess if he loses, you could always use a layoff as an excuse, but he's about run out of excuses. He's been a short price in one race after another. He's a 4-year-old in the middle of his 4-year-old year for one of the best trainers in the history of the game, Shug McGahee.
And for Bill Parcells, by the way.
Still correct.
Owned by Bill Parcells.
Correct. That's right. August Dawn Farm. Still a non-winner's a 1. And he's had his chances. But this is probably one of the easier spots he's found himself in.
He's had a couple, unfortunately. He lunged to start one time, his saddle slipped, but his last couple starts on the turf, they probably win this race. I mean, they really do. Today's the day. If he's going to win, he's going to win today because he should really beat this field. And the horse we hasn't talked about is a 12, who was very good first time out stepping on turf, completely different horse on the turf. And we'll see what we get today. This is a bigger step up in class, but you never know. Horse by Desert Party that really loved it last time out.
He definitely improved.
Yeah.
6-5 on the board right now. We are set. Start of the pick 6 coming up. Let's send it upstairs to John Embrial with the call. Race 4 from Belmont Park here on America's Day at the Races.
They're in the gate. And they're off. L&Z is going out for the early lead. Steelers fan for life down at the rail. Beach Access now moves up. On the extreme outside, it's Riendo who's racing in 4th. Mango M is next in 5th, followed by New Jersey John in 6th. Then it's Monahan in 7th, followed by Risky Sour in 8th. Phone Funky Monkey is at the back of the pack, along with BB Banker. The quarter went in 24-1. L&Z by a head. Beach Access is right there on the outside. L&Z, Beach Access, they're 1-2. With Riendo racing in 3rd and Steelers fan for life, saving ground down on the inside in 4th. Break of 2 to Mango M, who's running in 5th. 2.5 more to New Jersey John in 6th. Then it's Monahan in 7th. Phone Funky Monkey on the outside is 8th, followed by Risky Sour and BB Banker. Half mile, 47 3. LNZ still the leader. LNZ by a length. Beach Access and Riendo are right together, 2nd and 3rd, with Mango M, the favorite, in 4th. 3 lengths off the lead. Steelers Fan for Life runs in 5th. Then it's New Jersey John, followed by Monahan. Phone Funky Monkey has gained some ground, but will be forced wide as the ball as they come for the top of the stretch. 3/4 went in 1:12-1. Here is Mango M now taking over the lead. It's Mango M in front. Steelers Fan for Life. On the outside, it's New Jersey John. Down at the rail, Riendo is fighting on, but it is Mango M, Riendo, and on the outside, New Jersey John. Mango M with the lead, Riendo, and New Jersey John, and that's the way it'll be under the line. Mango M the winner by a length and a half. Riendo, big long shot, got 2nd. New Jersey John was 3rd.
Big long shot for sure, 45-1 in 2nd, but the win goes to Mango M, goes off your post-time favorite at 3-2, Jose Lizcano for Shug McGahee.
Yeah, finally gets off this level and gets his 2nd career win and got a very good trip. They ran honest fractions in here. And the best horse won the race.
Yeah, and sometimes, you get a good trip, but you're the best horse in the race, and he was. Rick Schosberg, the trainer of the number 11 horse Riendo, been on a monster run. He's been a terrific trainer from years back, but really been quiet for years. Won 3 straight races with long shots, including Riendo. Had a horse not fire in the slop, and then Riendo comes back and runs 2nd at 45-1. He's a trainer to watch. His horses have been running very well.
You can see the 7 completely washed out. Ran a bang-up 3rd.
Let's take a look at the 1 here. Steelers Fan for Life down on the inside. It may have hit the rail. Let's take a look.
What?
This was a rider who didn't maintain his position. I mean, Gutierrez did come over a little bit on him. He was on the 11 horse and frankly did come over on him. And it felt like he did come over, to be honest. We'll see if there's a foul claim. But you've got to hold that position. And I'm not saying Steelers Fan for Life would have won. I'm not even saying he would have been 2nd.
Well,
but he didn't keep his position.
Can we go back to that real quick, guys? Because I think he went out of his stirrup because it looked like Louis went to go grab his right stirrup back in. Now you see the 1 starting to try to kick, so it might have cost him a tiny bit of a placing. He runs 4th by a lot here. The 4 is the best, I get it. I'd like to look at that again because I think his leg came out of the stirrup when he got steadied out of there and he had to put it back in, or was it a little bit loose? Let's check this out again. Check his right hand and see when he hits the thing, does he stick his hand down to stick his foot back in the stirrup?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will say the 11 tightened it up on him, to be honest with you. That was not a good move by the rider, the number 11. He really did come over there and interfere with him.
He's looking back. Now watch Louis.
Yeah.
What does he reach down right here to get his foot back in the stirrup? Hold on. Keep it going right here. See right there?
Oh, yeah. He does reach down.
See him reach down right there, Wolfie? Was he mad in his stirrup? His
You have to
leg might have
hold
been out
your
of the stirrup.
position.
Yeah.
You have to hold that position. You're on the inside when you go in the turn. It's a tough point in the break. You have to hold that position. But the 11 did come over on him.
4-11, 7-1. We'll wait and see.
Why not claim? Why would you claim?
If this stands here. It's not
That's
involving your winner, obviously.
But it involves the 2nd horse, 2nd and 4th finisher.
Indeed.
And I mean, there's a very strong argument that the 11 absolutely affected. There it is. There's the objection.
Yeah, there's the
Good job
objection
picking that
now.
up.
They dropped it now, and yeah, they're gonna have to take a look at this. I mean, he definitely did shy over. And when a jockey like Ray-Lou Gutierrez, when you look over, you're sort of making yourself guilty here.
I'm going to ask you. I think he should come down. I think based on what we just saw, this horse should come down because if you watch that, I don't know if we can show it again, but the 1 has the position on the rail. And Ray-Lou does come over half a path and looks over, and he knows that he cut him off. This does not affect the winner, by the way. People should understand that.
Yeah.
So now they're making the case, the jockeys to the stewards. This is exactly what we saw at the Kentucky Derby a couple of weeks ago. Pleading their case, letting the stewards know exactly what happened. As Maggie Wolfendale trying to line up a winning interview, but we're not there just yet.
Yeah, we'll see what the stewards do here. And it obviously is an objection. And it's Louis Reyes against Ray-Lou Gutierrez. And you can see now they're on the phone. They'll both explain each other's cases to the stewards, and then they make a decision. That's how it works.
Well, in the meantime, this is not involving your winner, so let's head downstairs to Maggie Wolfendale.
Thanks, Greg. And here with winning trainer Shug McGahee, Mango M teaming up and in the winner's circle. Shug, he was just much the best.
He was today. You know, he made the lead kind of early and got to looking around a little bit and switch his leads. But, you know, we gave him a little break this winter and seemed to pay off. He really had been training well, so I wasn't surprised that he didn't run well.
And Shug, looking forward to tomorrow down at Pimlico in the Dixie. Likely second choice, probably, and Inspector Lindley. But his form this year and end of last year has been very good.
Has been. He came out of his last race over at Aqueduct really well, and he's had a good time here since then. And if we get down there in good order, I think they'll know he's in there.
Shug, we're gonna see you a lot on our show here today. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but not to rehash the 89 Preakness, but that obviously wasn't your favorite race. I want to know, what was one of your favorite races of all time?
Well, obviously my favorite race of all time would have been when Personal Ensign won the Breeders' Cup, because there was so much on the line, and the other one would have been Easy Gore's Belmont here because of you know, Mr. Phipps had never won a classic. Obviously, I had never won one, so we'd been second in the first two of them, and to be able to come over here and then beat Sunday Silence, especially the way they did, was pretty special.
Especially in your own backyard, too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that made a difference, too. When he got back here, he loved it, and he showed it that afternoon.
Well, Shug, we're looking forward to watching that 89 Preakness 30 years ago. Easy Goer, one of the greats. Congratulations here with Mango M.
Thank you. You all have a good time watching it.
I don't think Shug has that good of a time watching it, though, Greg.
No, he does not. It's, of course, one of the great rivalries in all of horse racing. And Shug would get his revenge, though, in the Belmont. But we'll have more on that coming up a little bit later on in the show, as we're still waiting to see what transpires here.
And that's Rick Schosberg, the trainer of the number 11 Riendo, I assume, with his owners.
Yeah, and the more and more I keep looking at this, I have to agree with Andy. I think the 11 took the path of the 1. It's pretty significant.
I guess we're going to leave before the inquiry's been decided.
We will be back. We'll have a decision for you, hopefully, when we return. We're going to take a quick break in the action. Stay with us. When we return, 2 Hall of Fame trainers with 13 Preakness wins between them. Talk their chances for Saturday in Baltimore. Bob Baffert and D. Wayne Lucas with Improbable and Longshot Market King. We'll be back.
Runhappy is simply super. He polishes off an outstanding campaign with a dominant victory in the Malibu.
No medication, no problem. Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Warfront, a leading sire on all surfaces and all fronts. His recent Grade 1 winners include Omaha Beach, Homesman, Fog of War, Lancaster Bomber, and European champion U.S. Navy flag, plus graded stakes winner War of Will, and these recent group and graded winners. Sire of the highest price yearling sold in North America in 2018. This son of Danzig continues to dominate both on the track and in the sales ring. Warfront, standing at Claiborne Farm.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit NYRABets.com. Sign up at NYRABets.com for a new member bonus.
We're back on America's Day at the Races here on Fox Sports 2. Great to have you with us. And we had an objection in our 4th race here, and the stewards have made a decision. As we take one more look, they ruled no change.
Yeah, and I think where the stewards are ruling that maybe the horse ducked in because of that little indent in the rail. I don't know. The 11's starting to put the squeeze on him right now, slightly, and he's looking at him as he's pushing him into the rail. And for me, when Luis Reyes has got to now adjust his stirrups right now, I thought it was warranted, but the stewards didn't. So, you know, to each their own, and the 11 stays up. So if you have that exacta, it's a nice little exacta.
Definitely nudged him.
Yeah, but maybe it just wasn't enough. They let him play a little bit more here, I guess. Jose Lascano and Shug get the job done. Tail of the Cat out of a Holy Bull Bear for this New York bred. Awesome bull.
Mango M at 3-2 with the win for Bill Parcells' Augustin Farm. And yeah, Jose Lascano leading right at the meet gets another.
Wow.
Weather and track conditions presented by Piranha Fly Spray, the preferred fly spray of Belmont Park. Piranha on, pests gone. We got a little rain earlier today, not enough to hamper the track much. We're fast, good on the turf as we get set for our races coming up this afternoon. This schedule presented by WinStar Farm, the farm that pays you back. Races 5 through 9, which means, yes, that is the NYRA Bets late pick 5, and it begins coming up in race number 5. So we look forward to that. We'll set the stage for the first leg here in just a moment. You can test your handicapping knowledge and compete for real prizes with our Showdown free online contest. Compete in races 5 through 9. You're playing for real prizes. Watch your name climb that leaderboard throughout the show. It is free to enter. Go to NYRA.com/showdown to get involved. All right, the 5th race. This kicks off the NYRA Bets late pick 5. It is a 1-turn mile, an allowance optional claiming race. And right now, Candygram favored outside at 2-1 for Jimmy Jerkins.
Candygram for Mongo.
Yeah, right.
Let's think of that.
Candygram.
There are, sometimes I feel like smaller fields are tougher than bigger fields. I don't know about you, Paul. I honestly thought there were easily 3 or 4 horses that could win this race.
I'm with you. And when you look at some horses like Be Gone Daddy, 8-1, that's a ridiculous price. It's all relevant, 2-1. I guess that's about right. And Candygram, I know it was a giant win, but it was over a sloppy racetrack. Now cut back to the mile.
Isn't he better possibly, though, in
He
shorter
could be.
one-turn
He
races?
could be.
You know, I think one of the questions this race, as it is in so many races, is how is the pace going to develop? Obviously, it's all relevant. It's going to go.
Yeah.
How much pressure will horses like Roaming Union, the number 4, is he the 4 or 5 in this race?
4, yeah.
I think
4,
the 4,
yeah.
and the number 6 horse Candygram. How much pressure? How fast will the pace be? Obviously, a horse like Be Gone Daddy wants the pace very quick.
That's what I thought, though, you know?
Be Gone Daddy, Strike Power, of course. He won the Swale last year. He was second in the Fountain of Youth. Horse he finished ahead of, just ran 3rd to Recruiting Ready in a Grade 3 sprint. I mean, this horse has some talent, but you can go up and down this entire field. Even Giuseppe the Great, I mean, he has tackled top-notch level competition.
Right, he
throughout
feels like his
career.
form has deteriorated, but you're right. At one time, he's won almost $500,000, and Be Gone Daddy beat Identity Politics 3 races back with the same running style. He's a horse that'll benefit from this race. It's just a question how quickly they go, and it's all relevant. He's been in great form, but he's moving way up in class.
Yeah, time to talk a little Preakness. We're just a day away. A lot of new faces showing up in the race, but we got 4 horses coming back from the Derby, including Improbable for Bob Baffert and War of Will for Mark Casse, who again drew the dreaded rail, although probably a little bit worse situation in the Derby with 20 horses.
Yeah, there is the unfortunate incident again. I keep trying to tell people that the horse shied away twice, and here's the 2nd time he shied away, and that's what caused...
That was severe.
That was a severe cause, and a lot of people went out and asked why didn't Tyler Gaffalione claim foul. We got a chance to talk to Tyler, and he said, listen, I heard about 5 jockeys into this race, so I thought the stewards would put it up, but it got taken care of. Now it's a completely different race. You can see Improbable in the back there. War of Will was trying to fight on. Those are the 2 horses that we'll see back in the Derby, and Bodie Express, who's backing up through the field.
The game plan, Andy, Mike Smith, we know, takes over. Bob Baffert didn't want to see all that clods of dirt in his face in that race. Now, we're going to have a different kind of racetrack, but is the game plan keep him away from getting that kickback?
Well, I don't know. I respect Bob, but I think that's a very specious claim on his part. It's a 19 horse field. The horse got good position. He's upset in a sloppy track. He's getting dirt kicked in his face. He's going to probably get dirt kicked in his face because he doesn't want to be anywhere near what could be a pretty strong pace in this race. Wherever he is, obviously doesn't want to get dirt kicked in his face. If that's his excuse, good luck to him.
Well, he comes in again with the horse to beat the favorite in the race. And for Bob Baffert, trying to win an 8th Preakness, he says the pressure's off.
I'm not coming in here with I don't feel like I came in here with Justifier, American Pharaoh. Improbable, he's a really good horse, but he's gotten beat his last 3 outs. So those horses came in here with a little bit stronger credentials, but all in all, they're all good horses. I think what we have here is just we have a lot of parity. That's why we have, that's why it's a bigger field. The reason I won those races is because, I came in here with the best horse, and so...
You think you have the best horse this year?
I think he's one of the best horses.
It's quite an entrant.
So obviously, as he realizes, yeah, he's not coming here with a Justify, who's undefeated, or an American Pharaoh. Look at some of the horses he has come with. Wow, they have been star runners, but he's ultra talented. He's still looking for his first win as a 3-year-old.
It's true. And those words out of Bob Baffert's mouth, I think, are not encouraging. He's a very confident guy, and he'll let you know if his horse is ready or not. They've tinkered blinkers with him. I think he's still trying to figure him out. And I was, at the beginning of the week, I liked him. I'm starting to get off the horse because I don't like what's going on with Bob, the way he's talking about the horse. They said he hasn't really looked great in Baltimore. War of Wills looked better. I think he's beatable.
Why is he a good bet at 2-1 or
I'm with
5-2
you.
in this race?
I'm with
There's
you.
plenty of horses that may be faster than him. I don't buy this claim that, oh, he's 0 for 3 this year, therefore he's no good. That's ridiculous.
Who said that?
Oh, plenty of people are saying, oh, he's 0 for 3 this year. Well, he should have won the Rebel. He ran the best race. If you don't understand that, you don't understand watching races. He ran second to Omaha Beach, who's going to be the favorite in the Derby, and he didn't run terribly in the Kentucky Derby, and given this field, he fits. I don't care that he's 0 for 3. I just think there's plenty of new shooters who be better prices that may be as good.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly right in the mix, is one of the best
100%,
horses,
100%.
certainly in the entire 3-year-old division. Now, we'll see if he can cash in or not. Meanwhile, Dwayne Lucas, he comes to the race with a huge long shot, but he's done that before with our colleague, I believe, back in 2013, Gary Stevens on Oxbow.
Oxbow was the best survivor of the Wicked Pace of the Derby that ran back in the Preakness. He's not even bringing a cap gun to this Preakness. He's literally bringing a spoon to a gunfight.
I hate to say this, but this horse should be 150 to 1. If this horse wins, I will never bet another horse race.
Well, that'll happen.
Okay, you promise us that? You promise us that.
I'm glad
we have that on record.
I promise you that.
Okay.
I'm going to make a bet. If he wins, Paul bets another horse race.
I'll make that bet too.
I will. I'll quit.
He was third in the Rebel behind Omaha Beach and game winner. Here's the coach on his chances for Saturday.
Bob always sends his horse. We train a lot alike, Bob and I. So we're probably going to be forwardly placed, but our horse is a good gate horse, and he gets into the races. All of his races, if you look at him, he's there at the quarter pole, but they don't pay off there. But he looked real good in the Rebel, even at the 8th pole. So, you know, we're going to look for that one. I thought I ran him back a little too soon in the Bluegrass, frankly. He didn't handle that well. I'm a little concerned about 1.25 miles, if he can get 1.25 miles or not. But if you're going to get 1.25 miles, a stretcher horse, Hub Pimlico is probably as good a place as any to try it. But I will agree with you. He needs to step forward. He has to step forward to be competitive.
He does need to step forward. He needs to take a huge step forward. Probably needs a lot of these horses to take a big step backward. But you cannot win the race if you're not in it.
You're right.
If a giant crevice opens up top of the stretch and swallows the other 12, Paul LoDuca will never be gambling again.
And I'll say it again. You guys probably said the same thing about Giacomo.
No, to compare this horse to Giacomo, Giacomo is absolute lunacy. Giacomo had good races.
Yes, he did.
This horse does not.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. What do you think is going to win? We want to hear from you. Go to @ABR Live. Make your vote heard. Improbable, War of Will, Another Twist of Fate, or if you like Dwayne's Market King, go with one of the other horses in the group. Let us know what you think. We're going to give you the poll results a little bit later on in the show. And again, Paul LoDuca, he's going with the Bomber later. We'll have that coming up for you in a little bit. Earn a little extra.
Others 3 to 5 in that.
On your Black Eyed Susan and Preakness Exactas with the NYRA Bets app. All Black Eyed Susan and Preakness Exactas hit on the NYRA Bets app. Earn a 10% winner's bonus. Bonus capped at $20 per day. Visit NYRABets.com for all the details. We'll talk plenty more about this race later on in the show. In the meantime, we got the NYRA Bets Late Pick 5 coming up. We head downstairs for a paddock report with Maggie Wolfendale.
Good-looking group assembled here for this optional allowance, going the mile, and they're all pretty good. The only outlier that I see in here is number 2, Be Gone Daddy, and at least on paper, though, he is fast enough. But we'll start down on the inside with a son of Union Rags, and that is number 1, Giuseppe the Great. I'm sorry, he's son of Looking at Lucky. I'll get to that son of Union Rags in just a second. But Giuseppe the Great comes in second off of a layoff, and you have to feel as though that 6 furlong race there at Keeneland was just a prep to get the proverbial race into him. And he looks fantastic here. He looks fit. He's tucked up. He's well defined. Great disposition here in the paddock. And he's a horse that in the past has had the propensity to get a bit agitated, to get a little bit on his nerves pre-race. And he's been one cool customer. Yeah, it probably has come with age now that he's a 5-year-old, but I like what I'm seeing from Giuseppe the Great. Getting back out to a mile seems to suit him, though I admit he'll have to find some of his form that he seemed to have lost. Number 4 is Roman Union, that son of Union Rags. First off the claim here for trainer Rob Atris, and he was one that was entered, I believe, in the flat out in the first one that we had before we canceled about 10 days ago, or 2 weeks ago, I should say. And each time this horse is brought over this year, I think he looks better and better. Very robust type, solid, well-muscled, super coat on him. Yes, the argument could be made that maybe he's a little bit better on a wet track, as most of his recent races have come there, but I don't see anything preventing him from handling the fast going here today. I think he is a horse that might be just getting better each and every time, at least physically. Now, one that is trying to find some form of last year's, the 4-year-old, number 5, Supreme Aura, one of 2 candy rides here for Michael Stidham, who in the past didn't really bring the right horses here to New York, but it seems as though these last 2 years he's really fine-tuned what he brings here and has better stock and knows what horses fit in these NYRA races. As Supreme Aura, another one, yes, looking to get back on track here, but gorgeous. I mean, just very good looking. A coat so rich and hydrated, almost as if you could see yourself in it. It's so shiny, well defined, just great presence here as well. And he's another one that's going to be stretching back out in distance, but that suits him perfectly, this 1-turn mile, as Joe Bravo is in the irons. Greg?
All right, Maggie, thank you. This horse, you know, we talked about Giuseppe the Great's face good company, Be Gone Daddy. This horse ran against Matoli, who's become maybe the best sprinter in the country.
I think Supreme Aura, the 5, is actually a very interesting horse in here, because you take his form apart. He kept some decent company. You mentioned Matoli, but also in other races. As a 3-year-old, he was respectable. He wasn't a killer, but he was respectable, running figures that put him in hailing distance. This is his 3rd start as a 4-year-old. In his first start, he went 5.5 furlongs in the turf, and then they tried a grade 3 stake with 12 horses in it at Keeneland. This is the most realistic spot he's been in a long time.
NYRA Bets late pick 5. See the pool there. Paul, what'd you come up with?
Well, I was going to all this race, but I was going to get it too expensive. So I went 2, 3, 4, 6, 3, 5, 8, 10 in a nice little turf race. Don't throw the 10 out. I know Luzzy is aboard in Junior Alvarado.
He won't be 10 to 1. That
he will
horse.
not be 10 to 1. Junior Alvarado
horse.
went to the 3. The 10 is live in that race. 2, 3. I know I'm not giving you much there with Curlin Road and Eagle Pass. I think the Chad Brown runner is a real deal. Front run the Fed, who was big last time, and I thought the last race was wide open. I'm gonna go 3, 9,
Don't
and
leave my
14.
5 out.
Don't
leave my 5 out.
Andy, I have the 5, but I didn't want to spend too much money.
Gotta put the 5 in.
All right, throw the
extra
5 in.
$16.
All right, throw the 5 in then.
Denzante, he just looked like he didn't want to run much in that.
Well, he was too wide. We'll show it when we talk about the race.
When he finally got some running room.
And he was lugging in the stretch.
No, he did not take off.
Well, wait,
no, he was lugging in.
But
he
was lugging in. He was going towards
the Junior's riding him back, and that was interesting.
Every right to improve. Second time on the turf. Here's our post break. Giuseppe the Great is taking play right now. Down to 4 to 1 as we take a look at Be Gone Daddy, Kendrick Carmouche.
Yeah, Kendrick, usually a speed rider. This one's going to come from way back.
It's all relevant. 9 to 5, claimed by Linda Rice.
He's going to play Can You Come and Catch Me? He's been running at lower level races. We'll see if he can handle a big move up in class.
Roaming Union, 3 to 1 morning line, 9 to 1 right now.
Yeah, claimed for 62.5, put right back at this level. Over 2 at Belmont. Look for him to be close, at least in the first flight.
Candygram. 2 to 1 for Jimmy Jerkins with Junior Alvarado.
Yeah, one easy winner last time. Got to go really slow going a mile and 8. Now cuts back in distance, and I just don't know where he sits in this race, but is a player.
And Supreme Aura, this horse won the Pegasus at Monmouth last summer.
I think this is a very interesting horse who's in a realistic spot for the first time in 2019.
Difficult opening leg of this NYRA Bets late pick 5. We will have it for you when we come back here on America's Day at the Races. Get involved. We'll return. More coming up here on Fox Sports 2. Stay with us.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle. The best races, horses, and destination venues. Cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. America'sBestRacing.net is a sport for you. Live it, love it, bet it.
It's a natural thing that you upgrade some of your mares, your younger mares that you think have big potential. Due to the stallion roster is so big and high class, it helps you to take a mare on a certain level up to the next level. We breed a fairly high number of mares over there every year, and it's very easy for us to find 2 mares to breed to their stallion roster for sure. On a certain segment of our mares, it does have a big influence. It's an easy choice for us.
So my name is Robbie Herzl. I'm the yearling manager here at Claiborne Farm, and we've got the first crop of Runhappies this year. Overall, I'm very, very pleased with them. So first we have a colt out of Rapid Repair. He's a really nice colt. Very happy with how he's come along as a yearling. So there was a lot of demand for the weanlings last year. They sold for over 6 times their stud fee, and we're really excited for the yearlings to come through the sales, and we're expecting big things from them.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
This successful son of AP Indy has sired 6 millionaires, including Eclipse champion West Coast, a multiple Grade 1 winner and runner-up in the $16 million Pegasus World Cup. Flatter is adding even more stakes winners to his outstanding record at stud. In the auction ring, Flatter topped the 2018 Phasing-Tipton July Seal with a $520,000 yearling. Success on the track, success in the ring. Flatter, standing at Claiborne Farm.
We're back on America's Day at the Races. Our show brought to you in part by the champion sprinter, Runhappy. Raced medication-free throughout his entire career. Now stands for $25,000 out of legendary stall number 1 at Claiborne Farm. Get involved with the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival. It is a sensational 3 days of action. Tickets on sale now. You can also upgrade to one of our all-inclusive premium hospitality packages. Go to Ticketmaster.com or BelmontStakes.com to get your tickets now.
Wouldn't you like to do the show one day from that gazebo out in the little island?
That's a great idea. I would love that.
That would be awesome. What do you think?
Yeah.
If it gets hot, we go for a swim.
Now, is there a,
maybe Paul and I could do like an Ethel Merman type swimming thing, giving some handicapping
tips? Is there a canoe that we can get across there in?
Yeah, well, there's a bridge.
There's a bridge.
Oh, there is.
There's a bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a bridge.
We'll go kayaking.
And I think
we'll have a race between races.
And again,
I'm into that idea.
And I think we should be teeing off into the other part and make that a little island green.
That might be fun.
I want to go out there and do the show out there.
This NYRA Bets Late Pick 5.
There it is. Can you see us out there?
Unfortunately, we don't have a Justify to single somewhere in the sequence.
That's true. Well, I mean, listen, I think a lot of people will single the Chad Brown runner, and it's risky because the hardest thing in racing is the first time against winners. But, you know, he was so impressive last time out. It seems like Chad really figured him out. He broke sharply. He was 5 wide. He was handled with care. Like this horse is loaded. He's the best horse. Handle him with care, and I think he's the horse to beat.
Front run the Fed.
Yeah,
I think the concern, we're talking about the 8th race front of the Fed, the concern in that race is not really the horses that have run the grass, because it's cheap competition, Scratch and Swamp Rat. It's horses like the 5 Clench and particularly the 6 Hushin who are trying the turf for the first time, and both have pedigrees to handle the grass. So I think from the horses in the race in front of the Fed, you're more feared that an unknown can beat.
Yeah, exactly.
The knowns just don't seem good enough.
In the 5, the Factor, a lot of his progeny have been running on the turf, and the Lumber Guy.
Positive that he did win on a turf course that was labeled good. That's what we're labeled here this afternoon. Of course, that again in race 8. Got to get there first. Let's go downstairs to Maggie for more.
Thanks, guys. And we'll check in with the outside runner. That is number 6, Candy Graham, coming off the back of a allowance win. So obviously stepping back up here in class for trainer Jimmy Jerkins. He's gorgeous. I've always liked this horse, but the problem is his job is not easy here today, or at least he's taken out of his game with the presence of other speed horses. Obviously, It's All Relevant has no other choice to go, and Roaming Union isn't that slow either. And the only time that Candy Graham has won races is when he's able to unravel that big floating stride and be comfortable out in the front end. And he's just not necessarily going to get it here. At least that's how it's projected on paper. As we'll check in with your current favorite. That's number 3, It's All Relevant. I know he's run fast, and he is looking for his 5th win in a row. He likes to win, and people are enamored by that, and we're all enamored by that, and we all respect that. But I don't know. I mean, he looks fine here for Linda Rice, and I respect her, but wow, has he gotten hot. Very hot out there. It started in the paddock, and it's just progressed from there. You know, a lot of times horses, they'll get a bit hot and nervous in the paddock, and then once they get out in the track and they get a warm-up, they kind of release that nervous energy, and they'll dry up a bit. Hasn't happened here with It's All Relevant. I just feel like that might be a negative sign with him. Haven't seen him get that hot in his recent efforts. And then finally, I'm going to circle back around to my pick here. You're going to get a decent price, 7-1 currently on number 1, Giuseppe the Great. I like the way he warmed up here, guys. I feel like that race was just a tightener. Yes, we don't know if he knows how to win. It's been quite a long time since he's found the winner's circle. If he can remember how to do so, he just looked the picture in every aspect of the pre-race that I've watched him. So I'm going to take a shot here with the inside, Giuseppe the Great. Greg.
All right, Maggie, thank you very much. As we get close to post time here coming up.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Candy Graham.
Yeah, I want to say about Candy Graham. Maggie's right. He's never won a race rating, and that's fair. Both of his wins, he were wire to wire. I can't argue with that. Neither did Mango M. He's going to be in that perfect outside stalking, and I really think he's much more suited to these one-turn races. His race 2 back is a much better effort than it looks on paper. The winner, Restoring Hope, many will remember from the Belmont last year. He was first time for Jason Service. The horse that ran 1-2, they battled on the front end at a moderate pace the whole way around the track. He was eliminated at the break, Candy Graham, and he still made a big run for third. He didn't win, but he ran the best race, and I think cutting back to this one-turn mile with a perfect outside stalking spot makes him very much the horse to beat.
Yeah, his issue is he's had a couple of breakdowns at the gate where he's broken not good. And
well, it wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't. But 2-back he broke bad and then got rushed up.
That's 2-back I'm talking about.
Yeah, he breaks sharp. He might show some very good tactical speed, and the 2 Be Gone Daddy's going to need it, and he's starting to get bet now. But I'm telling you right now, this horse has got some kind of kick. Look for him late.
His trainer has had some success in New York, more on the turf than dirt. I think one of the concerns with Be Gone Daddy is, can he bring that Florida form to New York? It's not always easy.
8-5 favorite. It's All Relevant. Has been a sharp form. Trying to win 5 in a row, but huge step up in class. Is he up to it? We'll find out. Let's go upstairs to John Imbrial.
And they're off. It's All Relevant, and Candy Graham go out for the lead. Candy Graham goes on with it, and Candy Graham will grab that lead. It's All Relevant is racing in second, with Roaming Union next in third. And then it's Supreme Aura running in fourth. It's a length to Giuseppe the Great in fifth. And Be Gone Daddy trails the field in sixth. Now, It's All Relevant comes through on the inside of Candy Graham, and the two of them are heads apart after 1/4 and 23 seconds. Roaming Union sits right behind the front 2 in third. It's a break of 2 to Giuseppe the Great, and Supreme Aura, Be Gone Daddy, is last. They go into the far turn. It's All Relevant leads here by a head. Candy Graham on the outside is second by a little more than a length. Roaming Union in third. The quarter went in 23 seconds. The half in 45-1. Candy Graham on the outside. It's All Relevant down at the rail. And Roaming Union remains in third. Then it's Giuseppe the Great. Supreme Aura on the outside. Be Gone Daddy continues to trail as they come off the turn and head into the stretch. Candy Graham is the leader now as It's All Relevant drops out of it. Candy Graham in front, drifting to the outside. Roaming Union has moved into second. Supreme Aura now takes third. Out in the middle of the track, it is Candy Graham with the lead. Candy Graham in front, drawing away at the end. Candy Graham, much the best. Supreme Aura got second over Roaming Union, and the mile in 1 minute, 34 2/5 seconds.
Sharp final time, reduced to a crawl coming home. This was impressive.
Yeah, and I really think he showed it. You know, Paul, when a horse breaks as sharply as he did, and he literally pulled Junior Alvarado the lead over a quick horse, and It's All Relevant, I think he showed from the start he was just going to be boss today.
No, the race was over. I looked at you and I said, how are they going to beat this horse coming out of a 1 1/8 race, basically in front? And you could see Junior's just sitting there, and he hasn't even asked him yet, and you have a bunch of horses that are trying to stretch out to a mile or run a mile. He's looking between his legs, and now a horse that's just won at a mile and 1/8. Is obviously going to have a ton left. Good call by you, Andy, with Supreme Aura to get the exacta home.
Yeah, it was a nice job just sort of picking up those pieces behind. And I imagine Jimmy Jerkins is thinking, I wish this Met Mile wasn't coming up so tough, because I'm going to tell you something. This was a very impressive performance. 22.3 for second quarter. They will always speed it up in the long straightaway in these mile races in the second quarter, but they were moving in the second quarter, and it's all relevant. A duel with him. He finished last.
And I don't think he's lugging out as in anything wrong with him. He's just green. He's in the middle of the racetrack.
He's sort of happy out there.
Yeah,
I think he's just sort of out in the middle of space. It's not like, you're right, it's not like he's getting out. I think he's
talented.
He ran big. This was a big effort.
Just wondering where everybody is. He was too far in front of him.
He's looking for Mongo.
6-5-4-1. Candy Graham at 2-1. Junior Alvarado, Jimmy Jerkins, Centennial Farms. Your winning connections. Back with prices after this. Also, when we return, one of the great rivalries in the history of the sport. Sunday Silence, an easy goer, 1989 Triple Crown. Shug McGahee looks back at the closest finish in Preakness history. That's next on America's Day at the Races.
Our summer cruise is here at Spruce Lane Farm, and he's been a really intelligent horse since he got on the farm.
He's just got great balance and presence. He's got a really good mind, and he does everything that we like to do so far. The plans with this colt are probably to take him to Saratoga or to Keeneland Book 1 or 2. He fits those. We paid $250,000 for him, so he was an expensive horse, but that's where he belongs.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit NYRABets.com. Sign up now for a $200 new member bonus with promo code LIVE at NYRABets.com.
An undefeated graded stakes winner on the track, Algorithms was the nation's #1 sire of 2-year-olds in 2017 by percentage of winners. His top runners include Rich Mommy, winner of the Grade 3 Sugar Swirl, multiple stakes winner and graded stakes performer Recruiting Ready, stakes winner and graded stakes performer Vanish, and recent stakes winners Taylor Spirit and Tracy Racing. In the ring, his 2-year-olds have brought prices up to $300,000. Algorithms, standing at Claiborne Farm.
You're watching America's Day at the Races. Good to have you with us on this Friday afternoon. Candy Graham, as impressive as could be in a 5th race at Belmont that we thought was pretty wide open. Not the case.
No, it wasn't. And congratulations to the son of Candy right at the Forest Camp Mare Church Camp. Centennial Farms has got to be happy with Junior Alvarado and Jimmy Jerkins, and they got a nice little colt on their hands.
$6.20 for the win. 3rd win in 9 career starts. Let's head downstairs to Maggie.
Here with Jimmy Jerkins and Candy Graham today. Jimmy was supremely impressive. I mean, wider than anybody, running a good time here. And when he broke like that, you had to feel pretty confident.
Yeah, you know, and the horse that figured to be on the lead had to do some scrambling to get the lead from him. And, you know, that's always a good sign when you outbreak them and then you're just sitting there. You pretty much think you at least have that one. You know, you should be able to handle that one. So, but yeah, he did. He run big.
And a horse that has run well enough at 7 furlongs, dominated here at a mile, won last time at a mile and 1/8. What is his best distance?
I'd probably say a mile or 1/3 mile. Yeah, you know, I entered him in the race last time because it just was, you know, it was going to be a small field, and he was coming from Florida, and I thought if he was ever going to get the distance, it would be now. You know, and he got an easy lead, and he cakewalked around there. But I was really looking to cut him back in distance a little bit, and his 2 works after that were sensational.
I know, I mean, Andy said it, you probably wishing the Met Mile didn't come up as tough as it's looking to come up. But, I mean, where do you look for the race next race for him? I mean, is there a stake race in his future?
I could like to think so. I don't know about the next start, but, you know, as long as he keeps getting stronger, you know, we've always had problems with him in the past and holding his flesh and stuff, and now he finally looks like he's matured. He looks like he's filled out, and he looks good and healthy, and, you know, and I think we're going to see what he's really made of now.
You've had some success with these candy rides. Talk a little bit about training them.
I don't know. They usually they're usually a little ornery, you know. But you know, the other good one I had for Centennial, he was probably the nicest one of all. He was a sweetheart, Unified. Yep. But this horse is fine too. There's nothing wrong with him. He's a little anxious in the mornings. He can be a little, you know, sometimes it's a little tricky galloping him and stuff like that. But basically, they give you what they have.
He certainly gave everything he had today. He was impressive, Jimmy. Congrats.
Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. It looks as though Candy Graham, well, brighter things are in his future as well.
It does. That was a big performance from this 4-year-old son of Candy Ride. And now back-to-back victories, blossoming as a 4-year-old. As we take a look at race number 6, moving along in this NYRA Bets Late Pick 5. Over the inner turf here, 6 furlongs, New York bred, allowance optional, claiming field, fast getaway. Still the favorite, but kind of a modest favorite at 7-2 right now for Linda Rice coming off a win.
This is a wide open race. I honestly, the 3 ran well last time. The 5, the 6, the 8, the 10, all those horses can win. This is an interesting race.
We've got a late pick 4 coming up across the way where the horse racing world is centered for tomorrow. Looking forward to Preakness Day. Hit the late pick 4 at Pimlico today on Black Eyed Susan Day for a 2 million point bonus on the late pick 4. That starts in race 11, Black Eyed Susan, today at Pimlico. Tomorrow, if you hit the Preakness Day late pick 4, you earn a share of 3 million points and that bonus. Visit NYRABets.com for all the details coming up. And since we're talking about the Black Eyed Susan, let's get into it. It's race 11 on the card today. Mile and an eighth in the morning line favorite. Point of honor for trainer George Weaver. Won the first 2 starts of her career and then was 4th beat 2 lengths in the Gulfstream Park Oaks.
Well, I tell you what, she could use some pace in this race. That Gulfstream Park Oaks was a very tough race, and it feels like there's some pace in paper and makes her tough.
Yeah, I think it does too. I think she's the horse to beat in there. Now, is she the horse to bet? It remains to be seen. This was her race at Tampa. It's a good race. And does it win this race? I don't know. We'll see what happens
today. How about her last? Her last might win this race,
Her last probably does win this race.
Especially with the pace, it's supposed to be honest.
She's the horse to beat, and she's going to be your favorite.
Think so?
I think so.
Tough race. Always shopping? I'll tell you what.
I like
got
always
one for
shopping,
you.
too.
We're going always shopping, right?
We're going to talk cookie dough a little bit, the speed of the race. And here, Irad Ortiz Jr., Stanley Gold.
Isn't Brill going to go with her early? Aren't there some others in here? How about Las Citas on the outside? I'm not denying the cookie dough ran very well in this race, and she ran fine in the Gulfstream Park Oaks, but I think the pace is going to be hotter for her today. At 1 1/8 miles. Don't like her.
Yeah, she's definitely got to deal with that long shot outside.
Yeah, she's going to have to be. I mean, when you have a long shot, especially in the complete outside, or like Las Cetas, they're going to have to send. Now, Always Shopping can be that tactical horse in the Rapoli stable. We know those Silks and Todd Pletcher, and they know how to win races, and I think she's got a shot.
She definitely has a shot. But I'll tell you what, she's 4-1 morning line, and if anything, she goes lower. And 8-1 morning line off topic. The Todd Pletcher horse is finishing 3rd between horses in this race. She's actually the one I want. I thought she was given too much to do last time. Spent a lot of time right down the rail, which may not have been the place to be on Wood Day. I think you think she's a little interesting too, Greg?
Off topic?
Off topic, yeah.
I do. I mean, I think this race is pretty wide open.
Yeah.
There's 4 or 5 in here I think have a big shot.
Yeah,
but she's one of them for sure.
100%. And she probably needed that last race too.
Pletcher with a couple of interesting fillies in this race. Again, that will kick off the late pick 4 this afternoon. 30 years ago, one of the great rivalries in all of horse racing between Sunday Silence and Easy Goer. And, of course, their Preakness, one of the great finishes in that race of all time as well. It was a rough one for Shug McGahee. He would get his revenge, though, as he looks back to 1989.
You know, it was really, I don't know that it'll ever be a rivalry quite like that again. You know, I seriously doubt it, you know, in my lifetime. I was a young guy then, you know, relatively new to the Phipps job, and got this horse, and he'd done everything right, you know, through his 2-year-old year and so far in his 3-year-old year. So I didn't really have anything to compare it to because Sunday Silence from the West Coast, we were from the East Coast. So, you know, I was hoping that we were as good as him, and I think in the Preakness it proved we were.
Fields sent on their way in the Preakness Stakes. Easy Goer dwelt and was slow to begin.
Pat Dave's got him in good position here going around the first turn. We kind of, you know, looks like we're about 3 or 4 lengths off the pace and just like a length off the Sunday Silence. We thought that, you know, he was obviously the horse to beat, so you know, we wanted to keep him in our sight. You know, we've got Sunday Silence right here right now in 46-2. You know, we got in front of him here. You know, we're just galloping along and look like maybe the rider on Sunday Silence. And we sort of got away from him here.
And here's the race we've been waiting for. Sunday Silence on the outside. Easy Goer at the right eye, head and head coming to the 8th pole.
Pat Day here towards the end sort of turned Easy Goer's head. We were in front here, leaving the 8th pole. Turned his head a little bit just so we could see him. Leaving the 16th pole, they're heading to the lead. And just the last jump, Sunday Silence stuck his nose in front, and we were second. I was happy that the horse proved that he was as good as Sunday Silence, but I was disappointed we lost. We only got beat a nose, and I'm still disappointed because I've never won a Preakness. So they were both very good horses. They both got hurt in their 4-year-old year. So both of them are in the Hall of Fame, and both deservedly so.
It's New York's Easy Goer in front.
You know, I was proud to be part of it and proud to have been a trainer of Easy Goer, and you know, I hope one day I'll get another one.
Well, Shug would get his revenge. 8-length score in the Belmont, but that Preakness was just incredible. Couldn't separate those two, and Easy Goer went into that race. He broke in the area, had cracks in both heels. Andy, we were just talking off air. He had a little ankle issue as well, but he still ran that race. Those two ran the fastest mile split in Preakness history.
That was I'm with Shug. I mean, you know, that was a really great East Coast, West Coast rivalry because they were two truly great horses. And Sunday Silence had that speed, which gave him an advantage in a lot of cases on Easy Goer. But they were unbelievably talented horses. And watching that as a fan of Easy Goer, it was heartbreaking. But as time has gone on, you appreciate the true greatness of those horses and that race.
Pat Day apologized for that ride afterwards.
Not to me personally, and I still feel I owe him.
No.
And you hear Shug saying, like, I wish I had another one. Just shows you how great Easy Goer is, considering he trained Orb, who did win the Kentucky Derby. But you can't compare the two horses. I try to tell people you just can't. How good Easy Goer was.
And Sunday Silence,
Sunday Silence, who's basically, you can make a case maybe the best sire ever because he made Japan racing.
They're two of the best horses of my lifetime, honestly, and they came together. And it was, I don't know if they were quite as good as Affirmed and Alidar, but they were that kind of good. And to have two of them in the same year, remarkable. And that was a Triple Crown I think no one will ever forget. But I still feel at the Belmont, the vindication of Easy Goer winning like that. And Sunday Silence did not run his race that day, but the vindication was one of the happiest non-betting moments of my entire life.
Race 6 we have coming up here. We're going to get a look at this field in just a little bit. Again, over the inner turf, 6 furlongs, and a lot of interesting things going on betting-wise in here. Wesley Ward, Alien Season the 1, is double-digit odds right now. That horse is 5-1 morning line, but I know we're taking a look at the favorite. Here's Fast Getaway for Linda Rice, and she got this one into the winner's circle in the 4-year-old debut back at Aqueduct.
Yeah, against a significantly inferior field. Linda is sensational when her horses are in good form, keep it going. Better on dirt than turf. This horse is okay, but lost to Outrageous Bet with no excuse, who's in this race in a much bigger price. And I'm sorry, Mystical Song, who finished second in this horse last time, would be about 30-1 in this field. I'm not saying this horse can't win, but 5-2 is a tough price to take on anyone in here.
I'm in agreement with that, yeah. And when you look at the 10, Outrageous Bets has beaten him twice. And now you see the stats that Wesley Ward pours out. That's pretty good, 32%.
That's synthetic to turf and turf sprints, true turf sprints. And I'll tell you something, Wesley Ward last year, and you'll remember this because I humiliated myself with some bad opinions in the show, he brought a number of horses here, all of them trained at Keeneland, that really outperformed. Well, he's run one so far at the meet that dramatically outperformed, and I'm betting a few bucks on this one, even though on paper he is a little dubious.
Not often you see those kind of numbers on a Wesley Ward runner here. We'll see.
Right.
Let's head downstairs for Paddock Report with Maggie Wolfendale.
Several horses coming in here off of layoffs, including the one you guys were just talking about, number 1, Alien Season. And while he does look really fit, he doesn't look that good overall. I mean, just a long wispy coat on him. I mean, we're heading into getting into summer, I should say. And I just expect these horses' coats to just look a bit better than what he has. He does. And look, it's Wesley Ward. He's extremely successful in these type of spots, but awfully chilly on the board as of now, at least. His number 4 is Fear. 11 win career starts for this 7-year-old. I love a horse that likes to win. Now, his form hasn't been actually quite as good for Jeremiah Englehart, but he gets a bit of a break. It comes in off of a freshening. Couldn't ask him to look any better. Healthy, really well defined overall. So I think Fear maybe at a price is one to consider, as he's been successful in these type of spots before against New York breds. Number 6 is Banana Thief. Last time we saw him was up at Saratoga, long layoff. As he comes back here, he is sharp. He looks ready to go for Steve Asmussen and Toby Sheets. I don't necessarily trust this horse. He often doesn't like to find the winner's circle, but possibly he could be okay here coming back, Greg.
All right, Maggie, thank you. We'll have the post-parade coming up when we return from a short timeout. Another wide open race here that starts the Pick 4 next.
Runhappy was the fastest 3-year-old sprinter of his generation.
Runhappy is stamping his horses. And they all got great necks, great hind legs. They all got a good walk, and this colt moves very, very well. Very smart. He hasn't turned a hair since we had him. First day we turned him out, he was very, very gentle in his paddock and did everything right. He's got an exceptional pedigree.
Runhappy standing at Claiborne Farm.
The Kentucky Derby is a race that we all want to capture. But what he did in the Florida Derby, that got me green.
But inside the 16th pole, the 2017 Florida Derby to Todd Pletcher, and always dreaming they won it by 4 in the end.
Anytime you ever would go to see him in his breezes or in his races, you knew that he was the real deal. You really would get excited about what he was going to do for the future. I'm Jacob West, and this season, I'm always dreaming.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit NYRABets.com. Sign up for a $200 new member bonus with promo code SPRING19 at NYRABets.com.
This graded stakes winner and multiple Grade 1 performer by Tapit has become one of the nation's leading sires of 2-year-olds. Ranked number 1 in his crop by number of winners, he sired 11 stakes horses in 2017, including graded stakes winners Wild Shot and Oklahoma Derby winner Untrapped. At the sales, his yearlings have sold up to $480,000. Trap Shot, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Next on America's Day at the Races, a turf sprint kicks off the late Pick 4, where Fast Getaway looks to put together back-to-back victories. In our feature race, Front Run the Fed looked impressive in his 2019 debut. Can he back up an eye-catching maiden score in his first try against winners? And it's the rail again for War of Will. After his Derby chances were derailed, can he bounce back in Baltimore? We'll talk all about it coming up on this edition of America's Day at the Races, brought to you in part by America's Best Racing, the go-to site covering the sport and lifestyle. Visit americasbestracing.net. Today, Greg Wolf alongside 4-time Major League All-Star Paul LoDuca, New York Racing Association handicapper Andy Serling. We're going to talk plenty of Preakness coming up, but our feature race today here at Belmont in the 8th, and that's where Front Run the Fed will look to go back-to-back for Chad Brown. His comeback as a 3-year-old, he looked very impressive.
He was very, very good. And to me, he looked like a different racehorse. He broke a lot sharper, was tactical, and he really did it with a lot of ease. And your worry is, again, he's facing winners for the first time, but I like the way he lowered his head down and just got the job done.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure in the second place finisher. He didn't face maybe a tougher horse in that race, and he's going to face in this race against winners. There are some unknowns. His 7.5 furlong race, if people are concerned that he did not run that well, that's a 2-turn race. It's really more like a 2-turn mile. He's a 1-turn sprinter, this horse. An interesting name. Front Run the Fed, Fed Biz, and Lawless Mist, the dam. It's illegal to front run. So there you get the name. Pretty cool name.
Trained by the best around right now, Chad Brown. Klarovich Stables. He had a couple of heavy favorites beat yesterday. You don't see that happen a lot back-to-back days.
No, but if you're paying attention to Pimlico, he just won the 9th race over there. So he's still doing pretty darn good.
So he's not out of business yet?
No, he's not out of business yet.
It's a relief.
He just won with dog tag over there. Javier Castellanos already won 4 races at Pimlico today.
Winner of the P.G. Johnson dog for LNJ Foxwoods.
Yep.
Nice win.
Get signed up, get started, play along with NYRA Bets. Bet $200. You'll get $200 in your account. Use the promo code LIVE. You can bet any track, anywhere, anytime at NYRABets.com, or again, download the NYRA Bets app. We have our 6th race coming up. It'll kick off our late pick 4, and this is a wide open event here coming up. We're on the inner turf, 6 furlongs. Turf is labeled good. And New York breds going against each other, and a lot of names we're familiar with.
Yeah, and a lot of horses that are talented coming from very different directions as well. And as you often get at this time of the year at Belmont, horses coming off layoffs.
Yeah, and it seems like this is the type of field, if you ran it like 5 or 6 times, you'd get like 3 or 4 different winners.
Trips are key.
Yeah.
We just saw a trainer walk through the picture, had a 39-01 shot win yesterday. Here's Alien Season, though. This is Wesley Ward, Dylan Davis, 1/2 his turf starts.
I'm taking a shot with this one at a price. He's going to have to run his very best race or improve, but Wesley Ward, good in these situations.
Psychic Energy, Tom Morley, who I was talking about, had that 39-01 shot win yesterday. Junior Alvarado here.
Comes off one of his best career races, but he did ride a very strong inside bias in the course last time.
Kendrick Carmouche aboard for Jeremiah Engelhardt on Fear.
Yeah, 60-1 last time out, warrants the drop now, and has a couple races to go to that can compete. At least, you know, this gelding has 2 wins at Belmont.
Fast Getaway, the favorite for Linda Rice, comes off a victory to start off his year.
No doubt a contender off his win last time, but does he really merit a short price in this competitive field?
Banana Thief, he needs a little help up front, but every so often he gets up in time.
Yeah, he did. 2 starts back. He broke the hearts of everybody, getting up by a nose. Now he's in for the tag for Steve Asmussen and Louis Reyes.
Long shot, Snake Oil Charlie, 16-1.
On paper, he looks about as competitive as Market King looks in the Preakness.
Half his morning line. Royal Asset, Speedster, Joe Bravo, Rudy Rodriguez.
Yeah, and his is a horse that the turf efforts has shown pretty good speed. Now I'm going to get back over it, and Joe Bravo is an upgrade here.
Crocheron Kid, 15-1 for David Donk.
He's second off a layoff and has some race to give him a chance, but as one of my favorite racehorses on the racetrack, I still think his form might be eluding him.
An outrageous bet on the outside here, and a very good effort to get second. That was his first start coming back as a 5-year-old, and if he can improve off that, look out.
Yeah, he can. I'm with you. His issue is he never really breaks well. That's just part of it. You're going to have to deal with it. He's going to sit back and make one run, but he ran into a little bit of traffic, and he's going to be rolling late.
And he owns a victory over our current favorite as well, Fast Getaway, who is 9-5 on the board, who we're going to take a look at in action here. Fast Getaway, 2 for 4 on the turf for Linda Rice, and that comeback effort was a win at Aqueduct over in South Ozone Park.
He's a little better than he looks at first glance. His race 3 back where he finished 5th and well behind Outrageous Bet, that was an absolutely brutal pace that completely fell apart. He had a perfect trip when he lost to Outrageous Bet in his next start. No excuse not to beat him, but lost by just a nose. Got the win last time against a subpar field. As I said, a contender, but I just don't understand, Paul, what makes him a substantial favorite right now.
Well, the thing is like, okay, he brakes so sharply. Can he rate? Can Psychic Energy take it to him early? Because they both ran the same sort of fractions. They're very, very fast, both of these horses.
Isn't Joe Bravo supposed to go to the lead with Royal Asset today?
Well, this guy went to the lead last time out, so is he going to keep him company as we take a look back at 3 horses who faced each other last time out?
Yeah, I think Outrageous Bet's the one in last, sort of between horses, going to the inside with a white cap there. And Paul's right. He had real traffic in there. And, you know, this is a horse that needs a clean outside run. And had he been able to get out earlier, he would have made a much bigger dent into the winner of this race, who was the number 3 today, Psychic Energy. But I pointed out, this was a day that we took the rails down at Aqueduct. The first time the rails have been down the outer course, and the rail on the outer was like a gold highway. And Psychic Energy took full advantage of that. He's not going to have that advantage today. And Outrageous Bet was against it, too.
He's 6-1 on the board. It was Junior Alvarado who guided who the 10 today is, Outrageous Bet, to that second place finish with all that trouble. He's actually on board the 3 this afternoon. Meanwhile, here's Banana Thief. And, of course, when you know it, the first time he won in a long, long time. That was at Saratoga over the summer. I think I was 7 or 8 deep in that race. I didn't
Crushed
use him.
us. It crushed us. I mean, like, it was a dirty nose, too.
He's all the way on the outside of the green cap.
One thing you can tell, he usually runs a big race. His problem is the gate, so he leaves himself so much to do, but he tries very hard. And this day, he got the bob.
If you'll remember, and the second horse, the favorite, Frisky Magician, had to come up the fence. We talked about that day in the paper, and I pointed out with Banana Thief, one of the things that kept hindering his progress was he kept drawing inside posts. And he's a horse that really wants to run more freely outside. He kept getting trapped inside of horses. In that race, he got him outside in the clear, and he got the job done. He's good enough, but the layoff a concern.
7-year-old, yeah, now coming back off the layoff, that's a concern.
It is, but he's a big price. He's 8-1. But he has an effort like that's good enough to win here, and he's 8-1. 7-5 on the 5 is ludicrous.
The other part about this is this could be a nice little setup race. Saratoga's right around the corner.
Yeah, good point. Let's go to Maggie for more.
Thanks, Greg. And checking in with the 7-5 favorite. Okay, I think this is one of the biggest jumps in racing, personally, in these New York bred conditions. Going from that A other than to this optional allowance 40. You have horses in here such as Fear, who have won 11 career starts, and the bulk of these horses have at least won about 4 races. So right there, I think that puts him up against it. Now you're asking him to win 2 races in a row off the back of that extended layoff. Look, he looks fine, but as a physical, he's meeting some older horses in here that are just a lot more developed than he is. So I'm a little skeptical of your current favorite, to say the least, but obviously he has very good connections in his corner. Now, number 8 is Royal Asset. He's won his fair share of races for sure. It seems as though he got very good when Rudy took him, and I just feel as though those races are behind him. He's kind of going through that downturn again as far as his form is concerned, and it's evident in his physicality. I mean, this is a horse who still has a winter coat on him. They sprayed him down in the paddock because he does have a tendency to get a bit hot, but he just hasn't turned in his coat. He can win here, but he's also kind of lost a bit of his footing as far as being up towards the early pace. We'll see what he can do. Maybe Joe Bravo does get him aggressive. And then I'm going to go to the 11-time winner, Fear, in here. Circling back to him, he's a huge price on the board right now at 17-1. This horse has faced a lot better horses, and he's back in with his friends here. This is a horse I've gotten lucky with in the past, guys.
18-1, and that horse certainly does like to win. Only 4 of those 11 wins, though, on the turf, but he does have some success. I mean, the thing with the 5 Fast Getaway, 4-year-old, and he's going to step in a moment here, a 4-year-old that might just be getting really good right now. You get some other horses, a lot of 7-year-olds who might be well past their prime.
But do you want to take 3-2 in this field to find out?
No.
It's all about price, right? I mean, you can bet a 10-1 shot if he's your 5th choice if you think he's supposed to be 5-1. And I cannot rationalize this.
We are all set. Let's send it upstairs to John Imbrial. Here's the start of the late pick 4.
And they're off. Fast Getaway and Fear. Now moving up towards the inside, Psychic Energy. And at the rail, it is Alien Season. Psychic Energy has the lead. Alien Season, Fear. Those two are heads apart, 2nd and 3rd. They've got 2 lengths on Fast Getaway, who's now back running in 4th. Royal Assets on the outside in 5th. Then it's the Croach Your Own Kid in 6th. Outrageous Bet far outside in 7th. Snake Girl Charlie is running in 8th with Banana Thief, the trailer, in 9th through a quarter in 22 and 3. Psychic Energy leads here by a half length. Fear is on the outside in 2nd by a little more than a length. Alien Season down at the rail. Royal Asset on the outside. And in between those two, it's Fast Getaway, who's now coming on as they come for the top of the stretch. Psychic Energy, Fear, Fast Getaway on the outside. The half in 46 seconds. Psychic Energy closest to the rail. Fear is alongside. The two of them are right together. Fast Getaway is 3rd. Now Fear takes the lead. Fast Getaway moving up on the outside of Psychic Energy. Fear has the lead. Fast Getaway moves to 2nd. It's Fear at 14-1. And it was Fast Getaway, followed by Psychic Energy and Banana Thief.
Kendrick Carmouche on Fear. Jeremiah Engelhardt. This horse wins for the third time on turf at Belmont.
And gets that good position early and maintains it. Fast getaway. Paul, he got an absolutely perfect trip. Looked like he was going to swallow him up in the stretch and could not get close.
No, couldn't seal the deal. Kendrick Carmouche just does a good job of putting his horses in the race. And if you look back at that race at Laurel on June 8th in 2018, exact trip that he sort of got a little bit off the pace a tiny bit, just stalking the 3. And Psychic Energy looked like he had something left. He was able to get away with 46. I know there's some give in the ground, but they came home pretty fast here.
I'm going to say the one horse that might want to follow a little is Banana Thief. He's the only horse that gained any ground whatsoever in this race, and he made a little bit of a dent off the layoff. Much the best, though.
14-1 on Fear. Fast Getaway was starting to put in a move, but 6-5 favorite, not enough to catch Fear. Psychic Energy, Banana Thief complete the top 4 here as we take another look into the stretch.
Yeah, and it's always in a very, very good spot. The horse is always traveling well. And you know, the 2 6-furlong races at Aqueduct were not good, but we pointed to the 2 wins out of the 11 at Belmont, and he hasn't been seen at Belmont since November of 2017. He likes it here.
Yeah, and he wins for donor Jimmy Riccio. Of course, his son was Jose Ortiz's agent, and Jimmy is one of the longest, sharpest owners in the game. He's been around a long time, and he wins.
14-1, open things up a little bit here in this NYRA Bets late pick 5. If you happen to have this one, nice call by Maggie Wolfendale as well. Pointed this one out. Biggest price we've seen in this sequence. We'll be back. Prices coming up. We'll set up the 7th for you as well. And how about this 1-2 punch in the Preakness? Brad Cox sending out Lexington winner Owendale. And the connection spent $150,000 to supplement Warriors Charge. Will it be worth it? We'll find out on Saturday. More Preakness talk when we return.
Kentucky Derby winner Orb. On the track, his runners have scored on both dirt and turf, including multiple stakes winner Autumn Warrior, stakes performers Scrapper and Malocchio, and Sipacan Harbor, winner of the Grade 1 Spinaway Stakes at Saratoga. In the sales ring, his 2-year-olds have fetched prices up to $1.25 million and multiple yearlings up to $1 million. Classic winner, classic pedigree, Orb, standing at Claiborne Farm.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit NYRABets.com. Sign up at NYRABets.com for a new member bonus.
This is a colt by Runhappy out of Addison Run. We bred here at Moffra Hall. Well, he's a big, strong, good bone, big old hip on him. Moves really well. Has that kind of big cat-like walk when he just relaxes and gets rolling up and down the lane.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Welcome back to America's Day at the Races, brought to you by Claiborne Farm. 100 years of doing the usual, unusually well, as we are back trackside here at beautiful Belmont Park. The sun is shining behind Kendrick Carmouche and I, as he was aboard the winner of 2 days, 6th race, Fear. Kendrick sat the perfect trip right outside the speed, pounced when ready.
Yeah, I mean, he warmed up very well, and Jeremiah really never gave me no instructions. I thought he was an old horse going back against his friends, New York breds, and you know that's the angle in this industry. You know, put them with their friends, and they're gonna succeed. And he broke so sharp. I just wanted to sit off the 3-horse, and thought Wesley might go, but the 3-horse was a lot quicker than him, and just set the trip. And when I asked him, he responded well.
Were you listening to the show? You took my line. I said he is backing with his friends. That's why I'm picking this horse. 11, now 12-time winner. Kendrick, I mean, what on a horse like this, I mean, they just know how to win. When you look up at the board, and he was a big price, do you ever pay attention to the odds board?
Nah, that's for the fans. That's for the people that bet us and keep us in the game. You know, I just want to make it work for them. You know, if they did bet me, and you know, I'm sure they did, because they never leave me out. They know I'm always trying.
You do have a lot of fans on the rail, that's for sure. Kendrick, looking forward to tomorrow in the Soaring Softly. You ride a Chad horse. The last time on Derby weekend you rode a Chad horse, you upset the Fort Marsden Olympico. You're aboard Seek and Destroy. She's back on the turf. Chad give you any indication how she's doing and what he thinks about her getting back on the turf?
Nah, Chad really don't give any instructions, you know. He say ride to win, and you know that's what you should do for every horse. You know, you want to do the best for each trainer and owner, and you know that's what he want me to do. You shouldn't have to give instructions in New York.
That's why you're here, Kendrick. Congratulations. Looking forward to tomorrow too.
Thank you.
All right, guys. The Louisiana kid always has the good lines.
Love Kendrick. Love to see him do well. And it's him and Jose Lezcano right now battling for the jockey lead at this Belmont meet.
Yeah. Both riding very well. And they're benefiting, to be fair, from a lot of the big boys missing Derby weekend and this weekend as well. But they're both riding exceptionally well. And Kendrick, to come back from that injury out 6 months and it's basically never skipped a beat, that's remarkable.
Look at the NYRA Bets Late Pick 5 follow along, 41,000 plus in the pool, and there's your number. So now you just need to get home.
You do now. Like Candy Graham, like I said, a lot of people don't like to single the favorite in. He wasn't the favorite. He was second choice. Now you get Fear. You're on your way. You're right.
7th race. Mile and a 16th, $25,000 claiming race in here. And right now it's Eagle Pass, who was the morning line favorite. Even money. Kendrick Carmouche looks to go back to back.
I like this horse. I'm not excited. He's not. I don't think he's going to be even money by post. He's a little bit bigger in some multis, but he looks to me like the controlling speed.
Yeah, he does. I actually like Starship Zeus in here in the 7, and I like the horse, but when I keep looking at this race, there's just no pace to close into. So that's why that horse is 6-1 right now.
All right, we'll talk plenty more about it. We'll have a post parade coming up as well. But of course, Saturday, middle jewel of the Triple Crown, 144th running of the Preakness Stakes. 4 horses from the Kentucky Derby returning, and then a whole bunch of new faces lining up as well. And the top 3 finishers not here, and the horse who crossed the wire first not here as well. So anything could happen on Saturday. We'll start with the rail and take a look at this entire field. War of Will, he drew the rail again. What do you think of his chances?
Hopefully he gets a cleaner trip than he did in the Kentucky Derby. The question with him is he necessarily fast enough even with a clean trip?
He's 4-1 on the morning line. Meanwhile, Bourbon War from post 2 for Mark Hennig. He was second to the horse who'd be put up, or to Code of Honor, I should say, in the Fountain of Youth. He puts blinkers on.
Yeah, this is only going to be his 6th career start, and like you said, putting the blinkers on, that's a tiny bit of concern for me. He's a horse that runs his races upside down, so you'll see him late. And I'm wondering if Mark Hennig's putting the blinkers on to keep him up close. I think he's a play against. A lot of people do like him as a long shot.
Comes in awfully fresh. Hasn't raced since late March. Warriors Charge, they supplemented this horse for $150,000.
His last race was absolutely good enough to contend. The problem is, can he be clear on the front end like last time? There is a lot of speed in this race.
Comes in off back-to-back wins, both at Oaklawn. Big step up for the son of Munnings. Improbable favorite in the Derby, and now a rider switch to Hall of Famer Mike Smith.
And what does Mike Smith usually let his horses do? He lets them roll. Look for him probably closer to the pace than you think, and I think he's going to try to put the squeeze on Warriors Charge and War of Will early.
Brad Cox, we mentioned, with Warriors Charge. He also sends out Owendale as a winner of the Grade 3 Lexington at Keeneland last start.
Owendale is my top selection. He was devastatingly good. Wide trip and buried the field, and they weren't flying up front. Gets more pace in here, and he may be the right horse at the right time.
Market King sounded like both you guys giving not a huge chance, but always good to see Dwayne Lucas in the mix.
Yeah, it's always good to see Dwayne Lucas in the mix. But the problem that you have with the horse won a maiden special weight at Oaklawn Park, and that's all you really got on the resume. You got horses in here with just too much, and he's going to have to jump up about 15 or 20 lengths, to be honest.
Always mining the local hope. He won the Federico Tessio by 11+ lengths. He's reeled off 6 in a row.
Well, he probably has to improve a bit to be contentious here. Do not discount his talent. He has been very, very good, albeit against much lesser.
Signal Man, he was very, very good as a 2-year-old for Kenny McPeak. He was 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He won the Kentucky Jockey Club. This will be his 3rd start as a 3-year-old.
You know, he's the type of horse that he didn't get the best trip in the Fountain of Youth. He did not fire. Then he got a little bit better in the Glute Bluegrass. Can he improve? Reports say he's been looking great. Doesn't matter how good you look, it's how fast you run. Is he fast enough?
Looking for his third career victory, and his first as a 3-year-old. Bodie Express, he's still a maiden. He's ultra talented, and he had that compromised trip in the Kentucky Derby.
He needs to be put in a maiden race. His connections are getting way overzealous with him. As talented as he is, he's going to get discouraged if he keeps running so far over his head.
He's 20-1 on the morning line. Rider switch, they'll go to John Velasquez, the Hall of Famer, on the son of Bodie Meister. Meanwhile, Everfast for Dale Romans comes out of the Pat Day Mile. He's a very distant 5th in that race.
Yeah, I'm wondering who's going to be a longer shot, this horse or Market King. The lone win in the P-Patch. Nothing against Ellis Park. The lone win at Ellis Park by a neck.
I'm going to go with Everfast being the bigger price.
Yeah.
I'll go the other way, but it's close. He won second, holy moly's.
20-1. Steve Asmussen, this horse coming off a win, and he was 3rd or 4th, I should say, just a length behind Country House in the Arkansas Derby.
Ran well last time, wide trip, only horse that made up significant ground, still a much slower race, and like Improbable, his 3rd start in 5 weeks.
Another twist of fate. Blaine Wright sends this one out, and the winner of the El Camino Real Derby, and that's how he won the all-expenses-paid trip in.
Besides Bodie Express and Always Mining, of the outside horses, another twist of fate is the one that has tactical speed. He gets Jose Ortiz for Blaine Wright. Big ups for Blaine Wright, who's been a Northern California trainer for a lot of years, and now he's getting his shot with a nice little 3-year-old.
Win, win, win. Rounds out the field. He was brilliant at Tampa in the Pasco at 7 furlongs. He's had trouble getting out of the gate, and he's 15-1.
He'll continue to lose until they cut him back in distance. Talented horse. I just think he'll be more effective at shorter distances. And like you said, Greg, he needs to get out of the gate.
So as we mentioned, 9 new faces that did not compete in the Kentucky Derby lining up to run in the second leg of the Triple Crown. 2 of them coming from trainer Brad Cox. He's going to sat out Improbable, of course. I'm sorry, Owendale, who won the Lexington, and I know both you guys kind of high on that race and what he did in that race.
I have a question. Paul LoDuca supposedly has a price. I like Owendale. Are we in the same horse in here? Because if that's no shot. They should scratch him.
We're talking price. We're talking big price.
No, we have Market King for you. It's King Market. Everlast Exacta for you.
It's Laughing Fox
Getting
for
out
me.
for life.
We have the same sort of, I think, idea. We're looking for a horse that's going to be from far from behind. I like Laughing Fox, and the reason why is him and Country House are the only 2 horses that made up any ground in the Arkansas Derby. I get it, Country House got put up. But his Rebel, he got pinched at the start and he had no chances. Other races I think are good enough. And Steve Asmussen, to me, can get a horse ready to win a race. The horse isn't going to be 21. I say he's 15-1. And I do like Owendale, too. I think a horse from back will come in running.
Yeah, listen, I think that Laughing Fox is at least a fringe player in here. I just feel like he and Owendale have the same running style, and Owendale is just faster. Okay. That's my feeling of Owendale. But I agree. I gave this horse a long look. His last race, very good.
Very good, yeah.
Typically, Preakness is the most formful of the Triple Crown races, but this year I think throw that out the window. Totally different. Top 3 finishers from the Derby not coming back. Also the horse across the wire first not coming back. So we'll see. Anything can happen.
Who's the form horse in this race anyway?
No, that's what I'm saying. This is a year where you throw that out. Exactly. Yeah. Brad Cox, he has 2 who are showing up to run in this one in Owendale and Warriors Charge, and here he is talking about what could happen on Saturday for them.
Obviously, Warriors Charge is a speed horse. They shouldn't get in each other's way at all. Warriors Charge's his last 2 races, he's been on the lead and just kind of cleared off and just run away from him. Very impressive. Obviously, big step up. The owners feel confident in putting up a lot of money in order to give him the opportunity to on Saturday. So we'll see. He's training really well, and we'll see how far he can take him. I'm not saying he has to be on the lead, but given the post and stuff, I think we're going to ask him to run out of there and get position early and see what unfolds going into the first turn. That'll ultimately be up to Javier. He's a great pilot, and we've had a lot of success with him. Other colt, Owendale is training really well. Both of them are training well, but he's moving well. I mean, he's really just clicking on all cylinders right now. Real happy with the way he's moving. I think, speed up front, the more probably the better for him. I don't think, like I said, Warriors Charge shouldn't get in his way, and he shouldn't get in Warriors Charge's way. So they both complement each other well.
Nice 1-2 punch for Brad Cox in the race on Saturday.
You can see that Brad is becoming a very successful trainer because he's starting to learn all of the cliches that trainers use in interviews.
Well, he had to do a lot of interviews with Monomoy Girl last year, so he got used to it.
He's a great guy, Brad, by the way. I tease.
This isn't a rabbit / closer here. This is a real horse and a real horse. This
Yeah.
is the Warriors Charge is a real horse. If they let him go on the lead by himself, which I don't think is going to happen, he'll be very dangerous.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Brad Cox is a terrific trainer.
Yeah.
We got to say goodbye to those watching on Fox Sports 2. We're back on Sunday. No show Saturday. It is Preakness Day, so we'll return on Sunday. We'll see you at 1:30 Eastern Time on 1:30 to 6 on Fox Sports 2. Everyone else watching, we are coming back. We'll see you in a moment.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit NYRABets.com. Sign up now for a $200 new member bonus with promo code LIVE at NYRABets.com.
Mastery retired undefeated, winning his 4 starts by a combined 20 lengths. A 6-figure September sale purchase he won impressively in his 2-year-old debut at Santa Anita. From there, he captured the Grade 3 Bob Hope Stakes and completed his juvenile campaign with a dominant performance in the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Futurity. At 3, the top-rated son of Candy Ride sizzled in the San Felipe. Now his much-anticipated first crop arrives in 2019. Mastery, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Whether you have Derby dreams or Midsummer Derby dreams, this is Tom Durkin to tell you a registered New York bred can take you there.
Diversify!
That New York bred Exact and the Whitney by multimillionaires Diversify and Mind Your Biscuits shows the kind of quality that allowed New York breds to earn more than $93 million on the world stage last year. On-track successes have spurred New York bred sales result. At the March OBS sale, Chestertown sold for $2 million. And this New York bred 2018 yearling brought $1 million at Saratoga. So get with the program at nybreds.com.
So my name is Robbie Herzl. I'm the yearly manager here at Claiborne Farm, and we've got the first crop of Runhappies this year. Overall, I'm very, very pleased with them. So we have a colt out of Queen of America. He's really nice, looks just like his dad. Very pleased with how he's coming along. So there was a lot of demand for the weanlings last year. They sold for over 6 times their stud fee, and we're really excited for the yearlings to come through the sales, and we're expecting big things from them.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Riders up here in the beautiful Belmont Park paddock as horses are making their way to the track here for race number 7. It's an open 25 claimer, mount a 16th around 1 turn. And a horse who has never run a distance or a route race around 1 turn is the new face as far as NYRA is concerned. In number 2, Curlin Road, a horse who has faced some good horses in the past, lost his way a bit, but claimed by Steve Asmussen, comes here for Toby Sheets, his assistant trainer here at NYRA. And guys, this horse looks a lot better than I anticipated. Watching that Oaklawn race, I was like, maybe it's just a slow kind of plotter, but he actually looks like a horse that could possess just a little bit more pace than what he has shown in his previous efforts. Really healthy, nicely developed hind end to him. I like him here in the paddock, and I'm intrigued to see how he handles a 1-turn mile and a 16th, Greg.
4 to 5 on Eagle Pass right now. Kendrick
Yeah.
looking to go back-to-back. All the money. Do you expect to see this horse this low?
Yeah, you do a little bit because claim for 35, right? I know it was a sloppy racetrack, 2 back, 4 to 5. I mean, it's 45 cents on the dollar, excuse me, crushes the field. Then they take the horse over to Parks. Those are usually salty fields, runs a bang-up race, and the horse probably should have won the race. The other races are very, very good, but I don't know about 4 to 5. I think we'll see that go up.
Show, of course, brought to you in part by the champion sprinter. Runhappy, there's that legendary stall number 1 where he stands out of. Some of the great names in racing have been there at stud, and now Runhappy is as well. Stands for $25,000 at Claiborne. We're going to see his offspring on the racetrack next year, and we're going to see some of them going through the auction ring this summer up at Saratoga when they get going.
That's always a fun part, time of the season, and a good crowd here at Belmont.
Here comes our post parade. Here is Transwev Rider Chain. Samuel Jimenez aboard 12 to 1 right now.
Long shot, whose recent form, especially since the claim, not particularly strong.
Curlin Road we'll see next. He was 5 to 2 morning line, 6-year-old for Steve Asmussen, who used to be running against some of the best in the game in Grade 1 company.
This horse should not be 5 to 1. I am sorry. Second time Steve Asmussen's one of the best angles, and it's always been one of the best angles ever.
Run against Accelerate, Collected, some big names out on the West Coast. Eagle Pass, heavy favorite.
I picked this horse, but I agree with Paul. 4 to 5 is too short. He is the controlling speed. His last effort at Park's a very good one.
Turco Bravo coming in off a win at Aqueduct, the Stud Muffin.
It goes way back, right? Remember that 99 buyer that Turco Bravo ran way back when? And he hasn't come close to it since.
10-year-old, one of the coolest horses
he
in
is
racing.
a cool horse,
Love
though,
this
yeah.
horse.
5's out. Here's Halloween Horror from Patrick Quick.
2 for 21 the last 2 years and hasn't won in a while. Those 2 wins were a while ago. So, a big outsider here at 10 to 1.
Yeah, it'd be tough to see this one. And here's the 7, Starship Zeus. He's interesting. He comes off a win for Charlie Baker.
Can a horse that just won his third for the 3rd time in 43 starts win 2 in a row? 20 seconds and thirds and doesn't get much pace to run at.
Maybe Charlie Baker figured something out with him, though.
Or maybe he found the right field last time. No, listen, I picked him second. I think he can win.
I think you might be right there.
There's the favorite, Even Money, trained by the man standing by with Maggie Wolfendale.
That's right, joined by Antonio Arriaga here. And Antonio, sending out Eagle Pass. You picked him up last 2 starts ago, sent him to Parks. Bit of a troubled trip that day, though.
Yes, well, kind of like the jockey didn't know much about him, but he did okay, you know. And I spoke to the owner and said, we got to put him in the right spot, and let's see what happened today.
Now, a horse that has been extremely proficient on a wet track. He gets a fast one here today. I know you were probably doing your rain dance for more rain, but, I mean, as you look at his form and as you ride him in the mornings, I know you ride your own horses, how do you think he'll handle a fast track? Is he as good on it as a wet track?
I think so, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And, Antonio, you are a man of many trades. I see you all morning long. Not only do you train your own horses, you get on horses for Todd Pletcher, too.
Yes.
Which do you like better?
I like both the same. Todd.
It's tough. Well, you do gallop some night.
Todd's horses like better.
You like Todd's horses better? You're not supposed to say that. But
you know, the younger, you know, and that is, you don't have this type of horses. He has better horses, you know. But I like this horse, you know.
It looks like a beautiful ride out there.
Saber, he got some class. I like this horse.
What's the best horse you've galloped for Todd?
Right now, Social Paranoia.
Social Paranoia. I like it. Antonio, though, you've done well in your training career and wishing you the best of luck here with Eagle Pass.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. He does get on some nice ones for Todd Pletcher, too. And he's a hard-working man. I see him all morning long.
Thank you.
I think, yes, probably 90% of the trainers in the country whose they like better, they probably say, well, I like Todd's barn.
Right. He actually also recently won a Ramon Dominguez lookalike contest.
I mean, they do, right?
Yeah,
it's a
got a real
doppelganger. It's very well done.
going on.
He's got the one to beat coming up here in this race, and son of a Kentucky Derby winner, Super Saver, who won for Todd Pletcher, by the way.
Yeah, for Saturday Man, a sloppy racetrack. This is the race at Parks.
Or Eagle Pass, the number
for
3.
Eagle Pass, yeah. He's in between horses. He's going to run a nice little third in here. You just don't know. They say he was boxed in. That wasn't really boxed in right there. He didn't have much trouble.
What he did, though, was he was the only horse that was close to the pace that survived it all at the end. The horse that ran 1-2 came from well back.
And the 1 starts really rolling late there. You're right.
And he was coming back at the end. I thought he ran extremely well, and that was important because that was claimed from Linda Rice.
To me, when they come here at Belmont, I don't know if it's for you, Andy, it's the trickiest read is Parks. That racetrack to here, you can't tell how it transfers.
You know, he's already got New York form, or I really wouldn't trust him. But to be fair, that form was for Linda Rice.
Yeah.
Next story, you got Turco Bravo, the old 10-year-old, and proven he could still do it back on March 30th over at Aqueduct when he came up with a win in a 9-horse field.
Look at his record. 77 starts. 48 in the money finishes. Now, in this race, the 1 3/8, because he's in front. He looks like he's getting tired, and he may be getting caught, and he just loves the distance. He just keeps moving forward. He is just one terrific racehorse. He's been racing in New York for a number of years now. I think he came originally from down in South America. Gary Contessa originally had him, had some real success with him, but you just don't see too many horses like this. 850,000, this is the bread and butter of the game.
Pretty cool stuff. And he's got all the fitness, especially in this race. I don't know. He's so tactical. It doesn't really matter what distance he runs. Last time he ran a 1 16th at Belmont, he crushed.
Put your handicapping skills to the test in the biggest New York handicapping contest of the year, the Belmont Stakes Challenge. All 15 stakes races at Belmont will be included in the two-day contest. It's June 7th and 8th. First place, guaranteed $60,000. It's a $10,000 buy-in. Play on track or online with NYRA Bets. For details and to register, visit NYRA.com/challenge. All right, that'll be fun. That's a great festival of racing that we look forward to every year here.
And for the first time, our contests, our handicapping contests, are available on NYRA Bets. We've only recently started doing that, so if you can't make it out, and you better come out here for Belmont because there's not going to be a better weekend of racing.
No,
than that
there's
weekend.
not. I mean, listen,
tremendous.
The Gold Cup, the Jaipur. I mean, you can keep going on the Met Mile. We're just leaving the Belmont Stakes. That's the cherry on top. But what they've done here for that day is rivaled Breeders' Cup Day. Let's be honest, it's just as good.
8 Grade 1s among 18 stakes.
Yep.
There's a look at the 10-year-old we just showed you. Looks like just a little
adjusting the saddle.
Adjustment.
I think he's the pro. Look at him. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I got you. Who's in the stands over here?
See how he does with the rider change. Rider change worries me a little bit.
He's been feuded 77 times. He's been feuded. He didn't even turn a hair. Look at him.
Let's head downstairs to Maggie.
And yes, just seeing a saddle adjustment on number 4, Turco Bravo there. And I mean, guys, I'll talk about him first. A horse that, as you were saying, you have to have a lot of love for Turco Bravo. Horses like this, you know, they are the backbone of our industry. And let's face it, they don't all come around every day. So much respect to Turco Bravo, and couldn't be moving better for a 10-year-old out there on the racetrack, just floating over this ground. Now, I do think amount of 16th, though he's won at this distance, a little bit on the shorter side for him. Let's face it, Mountain 3/8 was where he won last time out. Now, moving to number 3, Eagle Pass, who is 6-5 on the board right now, but honestly, he deserves it from what I've seen physically from him. He's dappled head to toe. He's a horse that really now, as a 4-year-old, has filled out that frame and just looks like a mature and strong individual. Warmed up beautifully under Kendrick Carmouche. Now, the front bandages do go on this time around. Is that because he's dropping a bit here back into the 25? We'll see. Or is it something a little bit more skeptical that you have to be skeptical about with those fronts on with Eagle Pass? Greg?
All right, loading up here for the 7th. We'll find out shortly as Curlin Rhodes steps in. His price is come down. He was a big number earlier, but the old veteran used to go against Grade 1 company in the handicap division.
We saw Steve Asmussen come in with another horse from Oaklawn that was a short price earlier today that really did not run well. And I'm wondering if these horses from Oaklawn are necessarily going to class up with the ones they're going to meet here in New York. I'm dubious.
Eagle Pass from post 3, the one to beat. He's even money. Let's send it upstairs. John Imbrial with the call. Kendrick Carmouche looking to go back-to-back here at Belmont.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Halloween Horrors going out for the lead along with Eagle Pass and Turco Bravo now moving up in between horses. So 3 of them across the track. Eagle Pass, Turco Bravo, Halloween Horror. The front 3 have 3 lengths on Starship Zeus, who's running in 4th. Curlin Road is down at the rail, and Trance is the trailer. As they head up the back stretch, Eagle Pass, the favorite, has now come away with the lead. It's Eagle Pass by a length. Turco Bravo in 2nd by a half length, and Halloween Horror on the outside in 3rd. The quarter went in 24 seconds. Curlin Road is running in 4th. Trance is now 5th, and Starship Zeus is the trailer. Eagle Pass has the lead here by just about a length. Turco Bravo continues to run along in 2nd as they head for the far turn. The half was running 46-4. Now Eagle Pass opens up here. Eagle Pass by 2.5, almost 3 lengths. Turco Bravo running in 2nd. Curlin Road now advances down at the rail. Halloween Horror is in 4th. Starship Zeus is 5th, 5 lengths from the front, and Trance is at the back. Eagle Pass continues to lead here. Eagle Pass by 2.5 lengths as they come for the quarter pole. Eagle Pass ran 3/4 in 1:10-4. It's Eagle Pass, the one to catch as they come into the stretch. Starship Zeus moves up on the outside into 2nd. Then it's Curlin Road and Turco Bravo, followed by Halloween Horror. Eagle Pass has a 4-length lead with just a 16th to the finish. Starship Zeus is 2nd. It's Eagle Pass, 2 in a row for Kendrick Carmouche. Starship Zeus was second. Then Turco Bravo, Halloween Horror, Curlin Road, and Trance.
Eagle Pass, just much too good for this group.
I mean, once he got that first quarter in 24, it was like a 6.5 furlong race with an advantage. And I'll tell you, he was very impressive, swishing his tail. Starship Zeus, Paul. Nice performance to run second, given the pace in here.
We thought that. We thought he could fire, but what was the issue was there was no pace in here, and you could tell the jockey in the Fort Ruben Severo, he was trying to press on Turco Bravo to keep up with the 3, just was not happening. 7 ran a bang-up race to run second here, but when the front runners like this, and Kendrick Carmouche is a guy that is so good on the front end, he's not even asking Eagle Pass right now. This is a canter.
Even money and wins like he should have been even money. Son of Super Saver for Antonio Arriaga, who gets on a lot of Todd Pletcher horses.
Didn't like that whip.
Wins with a horse who's a son of a Todd Pletcher Kentucky Derby winner.
He's going to be doing a lot of interviews with Maggie going forward. Now, good luck, right?
Yeah, I know.
He does a good job, to be honest. Doesn't have too many horses, but his horses, they run. He does a good job.
This one ran huge.
You see Kendrick take a look at the infield, you can see the 7, and then when he hit her right-handed, or hit him right-handed, he was not liking that whip, and he keeps looking. A lot of these guys love looking at the infield. Gives them a tiny bit of advantage, because when you're on a horse like that, it's really hard to look behind you, you know?
3, 7, 4, 6, short price. Here in the 7th, our feature race still to come. When we return, we're going to take a look back to 30 years ago and the closest finish in Preakness history. Shug McGahee remembers a tough defeat, but he would get his revenge. We'll be back.
Grade 1 winner Lee traveled the world competing against the best of his generation. A graded stakes winner on both dirt and turf, he set a new track record in the Grade 1 Don Handicap and retired with earnings of more than $2.3 million. With yearlings bringing up to $650,000 and his first crop 2-year-old selling up to $430,000, the sky is the limit for this promising young stallion. Lee, standing at Claiborne Farm.
So my name is Robbie Herzl. I'm the yearling manager here at Claiborne Farm, and we've got the first crop of Runhappies this year. Overall, I'm very, very pleased with them. So first we have a colt out of Rapid Repair. He's a really nice colt. Very happy with how he's come along as a yearling. So there was a lot of demand for the weanlings last year. They sold for over 6 times their stud fee, and we're really excited for the yearlings to come through the sales, and we're expecting big things from them.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
We're back on America's Day at the Races, brought to you in part by America's Best Racing. Are you up for anything? You'll want to visit americasbestracing.net for the latest and greatest. We've got the 7th in the books. The 2, 3, and 4, they were all claimed out of this race. The favorite, Eagle Pass, who won. There was an 8-way shake for this horse. Goes to David Duggan.
David does a good job. He's going to do well with this horse.
Yeah, he is. And I think it's pretty cool that somebody still wants to hang around with Turco Bravo. He probably needed that race. And listen, he's worth 25 because he's an ATM, and I still think he's got a little stuff left in his tank.
He's a cool horse.
He really is.
$4.30 for Eagle Pass, who was very impressive here. We've seen some big performances today. This one certainly was lights out effort. Candy Graham back in the 5th, ran huge as well. Kendrick Carmouche goes back-to-back. He's having a tremendous meet. This one wins for the Players Group and the aforementioned Antonio Arriaga, 4-year-old son of Super Saver out of the mass media mare, Beso Grande.
We've seen a lot of horses that have been successful at Belmont, winning at Belmont. Now this horse is 2 for 2. And Candy Graham, Fear to Eagle Pass. I don't know how that plays, but Fear's still going to play pretty big. I think you got your price already. You just need to get your next 2 home.
Well, this front run of the Fed's going to be 2 to 5.
Yeah, if you beat the 7 here, you're going to get really paid. But I think he's the most singled horse,
7 furlongs on the turf. It's an allowance optional $80,000 claiming race here. And yeah, front run the Fed we talked about, top of the show. 3-year-old debut is impressive for Chad Brown. Can he back it up?
We'll see. Listen, he was behind Vekoma first time out on the dirt, and Vekoma obviously went on to win the Bluegrass. And then they put him on the turf, in that last race, he really exploded and showed who he was. In the doubles, he's playing ridiculously low, and in the pick threes, he's way lower than anybody else. So I think these odds are going to change, and he's going to be odds on.
Yes, he is. I would say the biggest threat is a horse that hasn't been on the turf before. You know, loving the turf and running really well.
5 or the 6,
I don't
one of
see
those
how
two,
the
yeah.
horses that run the turf are supposed to beat this horse.
Yeah.
Well, there is one who finished ahead of him before, but that was a different scenario, which you talked about earlier in the show. That's Honey Won't, the 3 for Bill Mott. We're going to take a break. We'll talk more about this entire field coming up, and we'll also take a look back at the Magical 99 campaign for the great Soaring Softly, and look ahead to the stakes named in her honor coming up on Sunday. We'll have that for you when we come back here on America's Day at the Races. Stay tuned.
This proven son of Giants Causeway has sired 4 millionaires, including Claiborne Farm stallion Lee. Recent top runners include Cutting Humor, winner of the Grade 3 Sunland Park Derby, plus 3-time graded stakes winner Sharp Samurai, and international star Shamal Nibras. This year, his 2-year-olds have brought prices up to $310,000. First Samurai, standing at Claiborne Farm.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you. Live it, love it, bet it.
Runhappy is simply super. He polishes off an outstanding campaign with a dominant victory in the Malibu.
No medication, no problem. Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit NYRABets.com. Sign up for a $200 new member bonus with promo code SPRING19 at NYRABets.com.
Lingering at the back through the easy early furlongs, Our Squeak and Soaring Softly is the last of them all. Soaring Softly is asked for her run now by Jerry Bailey. They're coming to the top of the stretch. Coretta kicks in, short lead, Heritage of Gold. Soaring Softly charging on the outside. Mossflower is fourth and inside. It's Soaring Softly, a narrow lead. Coretta grudgingly gives way as they come down to the line. Soaring Softly, the winner by a length.
Soaring Softly is picking off horses one by one. She is rocketing on the far outside. Zomerata moves into contention. She's now third. Soaring Softly has moved up in the pack. She's now only 2 lengths from the lead. And the field hits the top of the stretch. Soaring Softly flying down the side of the track. And Cafe Latte down toward the rail. She'll need some running room on their opening there. Here's Coretta. Here's Soaring Softly. And Soaring Softly is the winner. Soaring Softly, the queen of the American Green.
Well, Soaring Softly switched from dirt to turf for her 99 debut, and the rest was history. Reeled off 5 straight victories, and after the first loss of that campaign, rebounded in the Flower Bowl, and then would take the Filly in Mare Turf as well. That Filly in Mare Turf didn't want to even be saddled in the paddock, but still went on to victory.
She was such a good one. Look at that record.
You know what I was saying yesterday? I didn't realize she ran 4th in the Acorn on dirt.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that till she became obviously so special on turf.
She was tremendous.
She was almost grade 1 placed on dirt, and she didn't have a great beginning in that race.
Jimmy Toner's career with turf fillies is absolutely remarkable.
Yeah,
Really well, Soaring Softly going to run Saturday here at Belmont Park. It will be race 11 on the card, 7 furlongs on the turf. And Feel Glorious for Christophe Clement Since coming to the States, perfect 2 for 2, including a win in the Memories of Silver.
And a rarity in New York, a turf stake where Chad Brown has one of the worst horses in the race.
Yeah, right. I know you don't think that horse has got a shot. Here is the Memories of Silver, and this horse really, to me, laid it down. And you could see when he got hit right-handed, he took off.
Yeah, she benefited from that horse for Peter Brandt, and those silk-splitting horses did not get the best of trips.
True.
But she got that clean outside trip, and she's improving with every start for Christophe, and I like the cutback. I love the cutback at 3/16 a mile from 2 turns to 1 turn. I think it accentuates her kick, and I think she's really the horse to beat in here.
You love a cutback.
You know me, I love a cutback.
Stillwater
I always
Cove.
want to go less distance, right?
Exactly.
Stillwater Cove, we got to see for Wesley Ward last summer. Saratoga,
Yeah.
she's back in this race as well. She's actually 5-2 in the morning line. She is the one to beat in the race, but good group coming up on Saturday. It's not all just about the Preakness on Saturday.
Good card,
Card
races,
here at
yeah.
Belmont Park. Absolutely.
Tremendous card. Yeah.
Of course,
We'll be here firing
30
away, Paul.
years ago, it was the closest Preakness finish in the history of the middle jewel of the Triple Crown. What a rivalry it was. Sunday Silence and Easy Goer, and even though it didn't go Shug McGahee's way, it still validated his horse.
You know, that was really, I don't know that it'll ever be a rivalry quite like that again. You know, I seriously doubt it, you know, in my lifetime. I was a young guy then, you know, relatively new to the Phipps job, and got this horse, and he'd done everything right, you know, through his 2-year-old year and so far in his 3-year-old year. So I didn't really have anything to compare it to because Sunday Silence from the West Coast, we were from the East Coast. So, you know, I was hoping that we were as good as him, and I think in the Preakness it proved we were.
Fields sent on their way in the Preakness Stakes. Easy Goer dwelt and was slow to begin.
Pat Day's got him in good position here going around the first turn. We kind of, you know, looks like we're about 3 or 4 lengths off the pace and just like a length off the Sunday Silence. We thought that, you know, he was obviously the horse to beat, so, you know, we wanted to keep him in our sight. You know, we've got Sunday Silence right here, right now, in 46-2. You know, we got in front of him here. You know, we're just galloping along and look like maybe the rider on Sunday Silence. And we sort of got away from him here.
And here's the race we've been waiting for. Sunday Silence on the outside. Easy Goer at the rail head and head coming to the 8th pole.
Pat Day here towards the end sort of turned Easy Goer's head. We were in front here, leaving the 8th pole. Turned his head a little bit just so we could see him. Leaving the 16th pole, they're heading to the lead, and just the last jump, Sunday Silence stuck his nose in front, and we were second. I was happy that the horse proved that he was as good as Sunday Silence, but I was disappointed we lost. We only got beat a nose, and I'm still disappointed because I've never won a Preakness. So they were both very good horses. They both got hurt in their 4-year-old year. So both of them are in the Hall of Fame, and both deservedly so.
It's New York's Easy Goer in front.
You know, I was proud to be part of it and proud to have been a trainer of Easy Goer, and, you know, I hope one day I'll get another one.
Well, he would definitely get his revenge in the Belmont Stakes with that 8-length score, but truly one of the all-time great rivalries in the history of this sport.
And that was really fun, having Shug talk about the race while he's watching
Maybe
on
not
his
for him.
phone. But yeah, I'm sure it was painful for him. But that was just cool having Shug, you know, sort of relive it. And obviously it was heartbreaking for him, but I think just going back and remembering the kind of horse that Easy Goer with was pretty fun.
Yeah, I think over time it's to soften him up. He got his revenge in the Belmont, but over time it softened him up, and he's realized, wow, Sunday Silence was such a great horse, and he's turned out to be one of the best stallions ever.
Our feature race is coming up at 7 furlongs on the turf, and we talked a lot all show long leading up to this with Front Run the Fed, the one to beat, 8-5 right now, right at his morning line. He won his 3-year-old debut. Now he's facing winners for the first time. Let's head downstairs for Paddock Report with Maggie Wolfendale.
And yeah, we'll see if Front and the Fed can remain undefeated as a 3-year-old. Now, I like him actually on the surface of things a bit better than last time, as I was questioning his overall fitness level, and he may have just won his last race being 90% fit, but 100% more talented than the rest of the field that day. Now, he looks more fit. He's not as washy as he was, but there's a big but, and it could mean little, and it could mean a lot. He's covered in hives from head to toe, and hives can be called caused by a multitude of things. And the big question is whether it's an external factor or an internal factor. External could be just that reaction to the hay or excuse me, the straw or the bedding that he's on. And so then you don't have to worry about it. Internal, it could mean that he's fighting off an infection of some sort. My thinking is that it is the former because his energy levels are great here. He's bouncing around on his toes. So I would say it's nothing to worry about, but you always have to wonder about horses that do come over with this kind of condition with the hives. Now moving on to two horses, I admit, I don't like much on paper at all, but the one Jerome Avenue and the two Neverland Rock physically look well matched against Front Run the Fed. We'll start with Jerome Avenue. I didn't love his last race. I mean, it was okay as he does turn back to 7 furlongs. Now, he's definitely more of an unbridled song, which he gets on the bottom side as opposed to Speightstown. I mean, he's tall, leggy. He's also gray. We don't see many gray Speightstowns, and they're usually short and stocky, more quarter horse type. So he's definitely the unbridled song type. He's beautiful, though. He's scopy, and I like how appealing he is to the eye. I just wonder about the 7 furlongs, though, here for John Kimmel. As we'll move on to number 2, Neverland Rock. Actually, he hasn't done much since coming to this country, but takes a step out of stakes company for the first time here for Steve Asmussen. And I like the 7 furlongs, actually, for this guy. He'll make his second start of 2019. Looks great here, showing me good energy. I don't know, there's not much to back him as far as his form is concerned, but I like his appearance here in the paddock, Greg.
Maggie, thank you very much. We get set for this 8th race here coming up.
Bruce Brown's son, Nicholas, paddock on their TV.
Yeah, well, Mike Leslie, that's pretty cool.
There it is.
There
They are. The Brown children, the twins, and Nick.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bruce Brown sending out Hushin in this spot is going to be the one to catch.
There is
Here's the one to beat.
Would you be concerned with this hive situation? Obviously, the horse isn't getting, I mean...
Best trainer in the country. I think he probably has it under
control.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like, in the doubles and in the big threes, the horse is like 1 to 2. Now, 6 to 5, I understand. I would think 3 to 5, you think, by the time they go in the 8?
I always go by the multis, so I won't be. It's hard to believe, but he could really be 2 to 5 in this race. It seems a little bit short, but you look at the field, I mean, he got a giant scratch. Swamprat was so clearly the second most talented horse in this race. And he got that Chad Brown factor going, and he's coming off a win that just makes him faster than these horses, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. That last race just beats this field. It does. It just crushes this field.
And while the 6 appears to be the controlling speed, he's not slow, this horse. It's not like he's going to be dramatically compromised. The pace isn't that fast.
And here's the thing. You don't really, the horse never run on the turf, so you don't know if that speed's going to translate. Usually it will a little bit.
You're right.
It will a little bit because he's so fast. But is he really going to love it? And you're right. The 4's not going to be that far away from him because he has tactical speed. He's gone almost faster than him on turf than he has on dirt.
The 7.
The 7, yeah, I'm sorry.
He should be.
He was the 4 in that race.
Yeah,
6 to 5 on Front Run the Fed, but yeah, it looks like he's going to be a lot lower price.
Well, I think, you talk about the numbers 5 Clench and the number 6 Hushin. Neither of these horses have been in the turf. Both of them are related to turf winners. Both of them have turf pedigree. So, to me, it's the unknown you're supposed to be most afraid of. I find it a little tough looking at the PPs to think either the 1, 2, or 3 are going to beat them. Doesn't mean they're not one of them's going to outrun second. Doesn't mean the 5 and 6 are going to run at all, but I would be more afraid of the unknown, especially considering they both have speed and potentially the 6 Hushin, whose form has improved, could be the controlling speed in this race. And you don't think of his sire, the Lumber Guy, as a turf horse, but he is a Grand Slam, and he's a turf influence. And this horse, after horse, really moved up on the grass.
And this horse was 3rd behind Win. 2 horses that ran in the Preakness, 3 back.
Yeah.
They're going to be running in the Preakness.
Clench.
Clench, yeah.
There's also a horse in this field who finished ahead of Front Run the Fed, the favorite, and that's Honey Won't, the 3, who's at 4 to 1 on the board. Didn't win the race. 2 races later would go on to win and break his maiden against Maiden Claiming Company.
And that's a very fair point, but I think it's also very important to note that this was a race that was listed at 7.5 furlongs, and with the extensive run-ups they have at Gulfstream, the distance between the actual start of the race and the timing of the races are closer to 1 1/16 than they are 7.5 furlongs. And they're really route races around 2 turns, and this is a 7 furlong 1-turn sprint.
I'll tell you what, this horse has got a big shot at 4 to 1, and the reason why is that race, he didn't get out of the gate. He was 5 wide, made the lead too soon, and just got passed late. the last race at Gulfstream Park, we're dropping for 75, was good. Now, I know 3 to 5 is supposed to get it done, but I think maybe has a little bit of upswing.
The horse he beat, Social Currency, came back, was off the board, and made in Claimer yesterday.
Cross country pick 5 happens on Sunday. It includes Belmont, Monmouth, and Woodbine. Get involved Sunday in race 9 at Monmouth is when it begins. Find out more at NYRA.com/cross country, 4:47 Eastern to be exact, in that 9th at Monmouth. As we start off our post spread, here's Jerome Avenue, John Kimmel, Joe Bravo.
Jerome Avenue is probably the other interesting turf horse. Didn't have the best trips behind the very talented Digital Age last time.
Won the Grade 2 American Turf undefeated for Chad Brown. Neverland Rock is at 9-1. Steve Asmussen.
2 starts on the turf, and this colt has broken dead last in both starts. 9-1 today. I don't know if I would back.
Here's the horse that finished ahead of the favorite, Front Run the Fed. That was back in December at Gulfstream.
And cuts back to a 1-turn race. We'll see if he can run a little better than last time.
For Kentucky Derby winning trainer Bill Mott. Has a nice ring to it for the Hall of Famer. Clench. Eric Consell, Jason Service, this one trying the turf for the first time.
It's got half to a turf winner, and a Sire that's a war front, so this one could improve on the grass.
Hushin should be the one to catch. The 6 horse taking the blinkers off and trying the turf for the first time.
Yeah, speed, 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 and never seen him over the turf, but, you know, a horse that's always in front, I would think you'll see that speed. We'll see if there's any stick. Mike Luzzy on this good-looking charcoal gray.
And the big favorite, 6-5 on Front Run the Fed, Chad Brown, Klarovich Stables, and the meet's leading rider.
Don't dream that you're getting 6-5, because you won't even get half of that on a horse who is the horse to beat, but may ultimately end up a little over bet.
That is your field for our feature race coming up. So the favorite, Front Run the Fed, can he follow up what he did at Aqueduct? And that was on a turf course that was labeled good. That's what we have here this afternoon as well. So it's another little positive in the toolbox for him. And you guys, again, seem to think he's not going to be that far out of it.
No, I don't think so, because when you have the 5 and the 6 that are dirt horses, the 2's got a little bit of speed. Like, those are the only 3 horses, but the 5 and the 6 have never been on turf. So now we're projecting, are they going to show speed? He might be in second place, or might be the speed in this race if the 5 and 6 don't take to the turf. That's what makes it so scary, and that's probably why he's getting bet so heavily.
Send downstairs to Maggie Wolfendale for more.
Thanks, Greg. And here with Bruce Brown, who will send out Hushin in here. A lofty name, Bruce, but a horse that, going back to last year, you told me he could run a bit, and he has proven that. Talk about his development first.
Yeah, he's come a long way. You know, last year we pushed him a little bit to get him there, and then it made us back off him for Saratoga. He didn't run it all in Saratoga, but he's starting to pay. You know, he has paid us back for being a little patient with him, but he's really coming around. So.
It's grown a lot, too. A much bigger horse going back to last year, respectively. But trying the turf for the first time, a son of lumber guy, what are your feelings here?
Yeah, I mean, his half-brother wasn't much horse, but was a lot better on the grass, and the mother won 5 races on the grass, so she was strictly grass. I mean, it definitely seems more of the lumber guy, just his looks and everything, but hopefully he's got a little bit of his mother in him.
Who you trained?
Yes.
That always helps when you know the family a bit here. And also teaming up with Mike Luzzy. I mean, he's been on him every single time. And a history, you guys go back quite a way.
Yeah, back from the Maryland days. When I first came around, he was just getting ready to leave. But, yeah, Mike's been on this horse a million times, not just, you know, racing, but he's been on him in the morning a lot. And he rode the lumber guy also, so he a lot of similarities there, he says. So, you know, hopefully there's more similarities. So.
All right, Bruce, we're wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And, of course, the whole Brown family is here to root on Hushin. Greg?
Family affair. We'll see what happens with the speedster. And, of course, Mike Hushin retired from the game a couple of years ago after more than 40 years training horses so popular out here in the New York circuit.
No question. And he's not Frankel, this horse, but a talented horse to be named for Mike Hushin.
It's pretty cool bringing family to the
always
racetrack.
They're
always
best.
here.
Nicholas will be taking our job soon.
Yeah, and listen, a lot of people don't realize as a trainer you have to have your phone on 24 hours a day, so your other half has to be so much understanding that you have to be up in the morning to train these horses, and he does a great job, and just a great person and a good family, yeah.
Well, Jerome Avenue, you know, made the case for some positives with his horse. He faced Digital A's, we know, who's undefeated for Chad Brown, won the Grade 2 American Turf last start, and also third in that race. Cole Black says he came back and won a stake at Tampa next time out.
In fact, he beat Swamp Rat, who was going to be the second choice, and Hero was scratched. He was 3 wide around the track after breaking a step slow. I don't think he ran that well, but he did lose some ground, and as you said, it's a solid field.
No, it is a solid field. I like the one. If I was going to bet somebody now at 3 to 5, which we thought. The one's the other horse for me because this horse ran in bigger fields. Second time out, beat a pretty good field at 19 to 1 when they took the blinkers off. So to me, the first race, the horse got nothing out of it. So I think
likely a second finisher.
Yeah,
he's likely a second finisher.
He's the likely second finisher in here. He really is.
Second time out, he broke his maiden at Gulfstream, and that was a tough group he was in against at Tampa. As we take a look at Neverland Rock, and this horse group placed at Newmarket in Great Britain.
At his last race, while he finished 5th, beaten 3 lengths, the horse who was 4th in there was Bulletin, who was the winner of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. That's a mouthful. And it was a fast pace, and he attended it. He's a horse who could be very forwardly placed in this race.
He's got to get out of the gate, right? They put the blinkers on him, and he got out of the gate, but that was the race that was taken off the turf. His 2 turf efforts, he's just gotten left. But he's shown brilliant speed. When he got left last time, he broke flat-footed. He rushed. So if he breaks, he might be the speed of the speed if Hushin doesn't go. You know,
Hushin's pretty quick. But he, as you say, sometimes first time in the dirt, they don't handle it.
We'll see, yeah.
They don't handle it.
But if the 2 breaks, it's going to make it very interesting how far he can go.
There's another one
trying up at the 6.
Yeah. This one trying the turf for the first time as well, as is the 6. Clench. By the Factor out of a Kiss and Chris mare.
It's nothing but turf pedigree. The Factor of Warfront's been an effective turf sire. The Dam's a Kiss and Chris. She's produced 2 to try the turf. One on it was actually okay. Both of them handled the grass. So there is a pedigree to improve on it. This horse that's run fast enough on the dirt to suggest if he actually improves on the turf, he could be a player.
Let's go downstairs to Maggie Wolfendale one more time.
And let's take a look at that horse you guys were just mentioning in number 5, Clench, a horse who I wasn't convinced in the paddock about trying the turf. I mean, honestly, he's fairly upright in those pasterns. But watching him warm up here, you know, on horses that I've galloped in the morning, it seems as though the turf horses, they always have that bouncier, more floaty type of stride. And watching this horse warm up over what the main track is now sealed, he just, I mean, it was as if his feet never even touched the ground. So the way he moves indicates that he might appreciate getting to the turf here. So we'll see. I'm not in love with him, but he should move up here on this surface change.
Well, you're getting 8 to 1 right now. If he does move forward, 4 thirds in 7 starts, but now gets on the grass.
I played exactas, 7 with 5-6, slight reverses, trying to get one of the first-time turfers in there with the favorite.
I like the 5's pedigree for the turf. I really do. And this horse is running against some nice horses. You look, you see a lot of horses that have come back and won. Stonebreaker. I mean, like,
he's not slow either.
No, he's not. I mean, win. Always minding. He's faced some tough horses.
His rider's rarely in a forward position, but this horse isn't that slow.
4 to 5 on Front Run the Fed. He owns just a maiden victory, but pretty good barn he comes out of for Chad Brown. Jose Lezcano will be aboard. Klarovich Stables.
Somebody bet one big double for this horse to be $3.15 for $1 in the double.
A giant double, yeah.
Wasn't you, Paul, was it?
No.
Okay.
Can he back up that maiden score in his first try against winners? He'll break from post 7. Here's our feature. Let's go upstairs. Johnny Brial with the call.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Clench and Hushin go out for the early lead, with Neverland Rock moving up down towards the inside. And then it's Honey Woont, who's racing in 4th. Front Run the Fed is in 5th. Almost 3 lengths back to Jerome Avenue, who trails the field in 6th. Hushin is the leader here by a length. Honey Woont runs in 2nd and clenches next in 3rd. Front Run the Fed on the outside of Neverland Rock, and the trailer is Jerome Avenue. The quarter 22 and 2/5 seconds. Hushin leads here 3/4 of a length. Oh, steadying there and taking up was number 5 Clench. That may have affected the 2 Neverland Rock as they go around the far turn. It's Hushin on the inside, Honey Woont on the outside. The 2 of them are right together and right behind the duo of Clench and Front Run the Fed. Then it's Neverland Rock and Jerome Avenue. Half mile 45 and 4 as they come for the head of the stretch. Honey Woont, Hushin, Front Run the Fed moves up on the outside. Front Run the Fed has taken over now. Front Run the Fed opening up here as Neverland Rock moves into second. Front Run the Fed has built an 8-length lead as they pass the 16th pole. Front Run the Fed, very impressive here as the odds-on favorite. Front Run the Fed won by more than 10 lengths. Neverland Rock was second, and a photo for third. The 7 furlongs on the good turf, 123-1.
Front Run the Fed runs away from this field, but the rest of the script, they didn't look like they had much in the tank at all mid-stretch.
No, they didn't. Something happened on the turn. I don't know what happened. Eric Kensell.
The 5 didn't get the best of trips.
The 5 didn't get the best of trips.
This was, I think it's a function of this horse running extremely well and nobody running a step behind him.
After seeing those doubles, if you would have told me that I would have got 4 to 5, this is the kind of horse that I would never encourage anybody to bet a 4 to 5 shot, but I'm surprised that this horse went off almost even money. This is
I agree.
Stealing money right here. It really
Definitely
is.
I liked him at 4 to 5 here. I tried to get down, Paul,
I liked
but
him
I
right
couldn't
here.
get to the window quite in time.
Yeah, he could have had the mumps, and he would have won by 19.
The high's not an issue, I guess. 4 to 5. Front Run the Fed. Back-to-back victories now. He's undefeated as a 3-year-old. And Chad Brown has a talented sprinter on the turf on his hands. And let's go back and look at that trouble.
I think he might have got affected a little bit. Watch the 5 on the rail, and the 2 get squeezed out of this. The 2 horses that take the worst of this are the 2 and the 7. They run first and second.
Particularly the 2. Yeah, I don't know what Eric was doing. I mean, without seeing a head on, it's very hard. I don't know.
The 2 ran giant to come back for second from there. Here it is. Eric's on the inside in the yellow.
They must be the break of the turn, right? Yes, they hit the break of the turn. Looks like he kind of stumbled a little bit.
He bounced off the rail. He bounced off the rail in the chain reaction. It's just like, this is happening way too much. I mean, you got to know where your horse is at.
You got to know where you are.
You cannot be running in the rail. I've been watching horse races for a long time. I've seen 2 people run into the rail today.
Well, it's like knowing where your feet are on a 3-point shot.
One of them, to be fair, was forced over.
One was forced over. That was.
And Richie Migliore often talks about this, and I've talked about it with him. That's the point when you hit the break of the turn. You have to know that you've got enough room, and you can't get too close when you take that turn in the break. And clearly, this horse was not in the best of spots.
Yeah, so there's going to be nothing done here because the 2 and the 7 took the worst of it, and they ran first and second. How good were both of these horses? The 7 obviously is some other kind of horse, but the 2 ran a nice little race.
2 leading riders at the meet, both with 2 wins this afternoon. Kendrick Carmouche earlier, and now Jose Lezcano.
What do you do with this horse?
Notches his second.
This horse
probably, normally I'd say he would head. He's not going to head to the Manila. That's May 25th in a week, and he's got that Grade 1 horse coming back supposedly for that race. Fog of War. Fog of War. No, that's a 3-year-old.
Yeah, too much.
You know, Chad'll take his time to find the right spot.
We're going to take a break. Well, the prices from this one, when we come back, we still have the finale to get to, and we're going to show you what happened over at Pimlico in the Black-Eyed Susan. We'll show you that race when we return on America's Day at the Races. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Well, our summer cruise is here at Spruce Lane Farm, and he's been a really intelligent horse since he got on the farm.
He's just got great balance and presence. He's got a really good mind, and he does everything that we like to do so far. Our plans with this colt are probably to take him to Saratoga or to Keeneland Book 1 or 2. He fits those. We paid $250,000 for him, so he was an expensive horse, but that's where he belongs.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit NYRABets.com. Sign up now for a $200 new member bonus with promo code LIVE at NYRABets.com.
Back on America's Day at the Races, our feature race in the books, and it was an impressive run. From Front Run, the Fed, $3.60 for the win, wins by a pole.
Yeah, son of Fedbiz out of the Posse mare, Lawless Miss, and Claire Bichabel's got to be excited. Jose Lezcano, another winner on the day, and they might try him a little bit longer just because he's gotten a lot better. These last 2 races, he's grown up as a 3-year-old. Neverland Rock really ran a good second here. I mean, listen, I understand 10 lengths behind, but I thought it was a good second.
No, I think this horse really took a step forward, and I'll probably get a buyer figure in the low to mid 90s.
Yeah.
This is a horse that's headed for stakes.
NYRA Bets Late Pick 5 follow along. Odds on with Front Run the Fed. Jockey everywhere except for Fear, which was a tough one to come up with. Maggie Wolfendale gave it out, and now as a result of that, you're looking at large payoffs in the NYRA Bets Late Pick 5.
And there's only
3 covered in the Pick 5,
covered
Pick 6.
in the Pick 6. 3, 5, and 8. Those are the horses that are covered in the Pick 6, which is a little surprising because the 9 is the lowest payout in the Pick 4, and that is a jockey change to Jose Lescano looking for the hat trick.
Yeah, 6 furlongs over the inner turf on this New York bred $40,000 maiden claiming event. There's also a rider change on the 10-roll tie. Joey Martinez will fill in there for Chris DiCarlo. We'll get all that coming up post-parade as well in just a little bit. They just ran the Black-Eyed Susan out at Pimlico. We're going to show you what happened. These were the final odds at post time. Always Shopping, Point of Honor. Both went off at 5-2. Larry Collmus, the call from Pimlico of the Black-Eyed Susan.
Dotted line, and we are ready for a start. They're all in line. They're off in the Black-Eyed Susan. Cookie Dough started quickly, so too did Brill, and Las Cetas will be off of them and sit third early on. Then Eulalie and Always Shopping in behind them, Point of Honor, followed by Our Super Freak and Off Topic, and John Velasquez will take their spot at the rear of the field and race about 7 lengths off of front-running Cookie Dough. And Brill presses her now. She's 3/4 of a length behind as they make their way around that first turn and through the opening quarter mile in 23.36 seconds. After that, Eulalie, third on the inside of Las Cetas, Always Shopping behind them. Our Super Freak at the rail. A 3-wide trip for Point of Honor and Javier Castellano. They're 5.5 lengths off the lead as they enter the backstretch and 2 clear of trailer Off Topic. So up the backstretch they go with Cookie Dough in front. And Arad Ortiz Jr. has her out there by 3/4 of length over Brill in second to a 47.02 half mile. Eulalie is third and right behind Cookie Dough up the backstretch. Then Las Cetas to the outside. Always Shopping in between horses. Our Super Freak is at the rail. Point of Honor continues to take an outside trip here with 5.5 lengths to make up. And the trailer is Off Topic. Cookie Dough rounds the far turn in front. Brill continues to race along in second position. These two are 1, 2, 3/4 up in 1:10.81 seconds as they round the far turn. Eulalie is third behind the leaders, then Always Shopping. And on the far outside, Point of Honor is getting going. And here she comes, and they're into the stretch. And here comes Point of Honor after Cookie Dough. Brill is third behind them. Eulalie is down toward the rail. Then Always Shopping and Off Topic on the far outside. Cookie Dough trying to hold off Point of Honor. Eulalie's in at 2 on the inside. Point of Honor has taken the lead. Eulalie runs after her. Cookie Dough is third. Point of Honor and Eulalie down to the wire. Point of Honor wins the Black-Eyed Susan under hot riding Javier Castellano. Eulalie was second, and then it was Cookie Dough in a photo between Brill and Off Topic.
Point of Honor, George Weaver, Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners, Javier Castellano, a 5-win day.
How much the best was this horse? 5 wide the whole way, and she just keeps on grinding. Meanwhile, Eulalie's getting trip of life on the rail. But a great job by Castellano. This was makes him so great, Andy. 5-bagger. But watch him, as soon as he goes right-handed, he knows it's not over yet. Let me point my horse at the 3 because the 3's coming at me and let my horse compete.
Yeah, the second place finisher, Eulalie, definitely improved dramatically. But as you pointed out, Paul, she just stayed on the rail, getting an excellent ride in this race from Joel Rosario. And big wide trip for the winner. It was out in the middle of the track. A Trackus would make this look like a much more convincing win. And George Weaver's done well with her. I have to imagine he's looking at races like the Mother Goose here late in June at Belmont, and then of course the Coaching Club in the Alabama at Saratoga. And she can be a player. That Gulfstream Park Oaks, I maintain, is going to be a key race for the 3-year-old fillies as we move forward.
She's got an engine on her, Greg, where she just does not stop. That race right there just proved it.
Big time win, wide all the way around the racetrack in Javier Castellano, having an incredible afternoon on this Friday. Not just the Black-Eyed Susan. They had a stacked card. They have a stacked undercard tomorrow as well. We're going to show you what happened, though, with the Grade 3 Pimlico Special. 10th race on the card on Black-Eyed Susan Day that ran just prior.
It was a good field.
I don't like they moved it to a 1.25 miles.
I understand.
I know they got a big field, but I think that's because there's no good horses in this division, and people are taking shots.
This was a phenomenal ride because Kenny McPeek and Tenfold and Ricardo Santana had to make a decision. Do I go inside or outside? He made the split, and now he's like third, 3 deep right there, and he gets the split. He had to make a decision at the top of the lane, and he was able to get through. And look at Ricardo is not even going. He's going right-handed, and he usually goes left-handed because he knows he has the race won now. But Tenfold's got to fight to the wire. But congratulations to him and Kenny McPeek. He got $12 on this animal today.
That Tenfold is Steve Asmussen.
Steve Asmussen, I'm sorry, not Kenny McPeek, yeah.
Yeah, well, he was terrible when he ran his last race in the Oakland Park Handicap. Now, maybe he didn't nail the slop at all, and it's nice to see him get back in the winner's circle. I wonder if at 1.25 miles now we'll be seeing a horse that's pointing towards on Stars and Stripes Day, the Suburban at 1.25 miles, but the going's going to get deeper.
Yeah, way deeper. This wasn't a great field, but it was a good wind.
Won the Jim Dandy last year. None of us were really that impressed by what he did in that race. He was a little gangly in that one.
I liked him a lot as a 3-year-old going in, and didn't like him at all coming out. He disappointed, but we'll see. Maybe he can improve. A lot of room in that division.
4th win in his career in 10 starts, and Asmussen and Santana, Winchell Thoroughbreds team up with a victory here with Tenfold. Gets this win at 1.25 miles. Stacked undercards we talked about Saturday as well on Preakness Day at Pimlico. This is a look at their schedule, and it is loaded.
It is. I mean, Improbable right now, we looked at the doubles, is your favorite, and War of Will is your second choice, which we thought. Those are your doubles that are at least your 2 favorites going to Preakness. But the card, the Dixie, the Chick Lang, the Gallery, but with the Dixie is the comeback race for Catholic Boy on the turf, and this was his work. I'm not a specialist at looking at a horse, Andy, but he's on the outside, and he looks like he's happy to me.
He's got 4 legs. Mane.
He can run.
2 ears.
Grade 1 winner on turf and on dirt. They're taking that path again this year. Of course, the Whitney later on in the year, what they're looking at on dirt, but they're going to start here on turf. And this is him working with someone we're going to see run here on Sunday.
Oh, sorry, the half to Arrogate. She will be running here and not running in their searching tomorrow at Pimlico. And I'll tell you something, I don't think we may ever see a horse make the Belmont Derby Travers double again.
I still can't believe
it's incredible
how she won the Belmont Derby too, or how he won the Belmont Derby
Overanalyze it.
Analyze it, had a length on him. And
got him in the Pennine Ridge, got him again in the Belmont Derby.
Got you in at least one of those too, Greg, didn't he?
Thank you for reminding me.
But
just an incredible horse. And he, there's not a lot of star horses that people are just excited to see come back to the racetrack. He's one of those horses that has some star power.
No, because it's cool to see a horse that has the versatility. He reminds me a little bit of Giaponti. Like he can run on a little bit of turf. I'm not saying he's as good as Giaponti. Giaponti was a champion, but he's good on synthetic. Good on a little bit of
everything
everything
else. He's better on dirt than Giaponti.
Yeah, that's true.
Whose best horse, of course, Dreyfong, was a dirt horse.
Yeah, it was a dirt horse, true, yeah.
Christophe should have run on the dirt.
Who everyone thought was the horse to bet, by the way, in the Travers.
Second in the Sagnon on
Turned
the
out
pro
to be
ride,
Arrogate.
too. Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Dreyfong? I'm confused now.
He wasn't in that race?
Who? Dreyfong? No, he won the King's Bishop.
He won the King's Bishop, yeah. From the 11th
He would have had to
post.
keep running.
Oh, yeah, I got to make Who's the other Baffert in that horse? No, who's the other Baffert? There you go.
Well, he ran second.
He ran second
Awesome, was it?
The Travers.
We'll be back. Stay tuned. Finale coming up.
Good Samaritan, the last great son of Harlan's Holiday. A debut winner at Saratoga, followed by 14 consecutive graded stakes performances. A Grade 2 winner on dirt and turf.
Good Samaritan to the Breeders' Cup.
Good Samaritan has taken the lead and he's pulling away.
Out of the family of Sky Mesa, Bernstein, and Champion outstandingly. The last great son of Harlan's Holiday is only at Windstar Farm.
Eclipse champion Blame was considered by many as the breakout stallion of 2018. His top runners included Grade 1 winner and Eclipse Award finalist Marley's Freedom, plus Grade 1 winner Fault and graded stakes winners Maraud, Beyond Blame, Miss Kentucky, and Blamed. His yearling sold up to $500,000, and his sensational daughter Fault brought $1.2 million at the November sale. Outstanding results, outstanding value. Blame, standing at Claiborne Farm.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit NYRABets.com. Sign up at NYRABets.com for a new member bonus.
So my name is Robbie Herzl. I'm the yearly manager here at Claiborne Farm, and we've got the first crop of Runhappies this year. Overall, I'm very, very pleased with them. So we have a colt out of Queen of America. He's really nice, looks just like his dad. Very pleased with how he's coming along. So there was a lot of demand for the weanlings last year. They sold for over 6 times their stud fee, and we're really excited for the yearlings to come through the sales, and we're expecting big things from them.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Nightcap time here on America's Day at the Races at beautiful Belmont Park, as horses are set and ready here in the paddock for this New York bred maiden claimer, 6 furlongs on the turf course. And we do see number 8, Early Retirement, as your favorite, and I have no complaints. He's finally getting to run on the his preferred surface. So we'll look at some lesser known commodities, including a duo of first-time starters. The number 1 going out for the Jorge Abreu barn, the son of Courageous Cat, is Captain Courageous, and I don't mind this horse. I know Jorge doesn't have great numbers when debuting in maiden claimers. He's a little bit on the smaller side. He fits in this condition very nicely, and he's really well prepared. I mean, he has a huge turf hoof on him. He has a nicely developed engine to him. He comes in here fit. He comes in here keen and sharp, and he comes from a family of turf sprinters as well. So I wouldn't be afraid to use this horse in exotics. As we'll move on to Jeremiah Englehart's Charge in number 4, Awesome Mystery, a son of Awesome again. The dam was a decent enough turf sprinter. He just doesn't look all the way fit. He doesn't look all the way cranked up. I mean, he's a horse that I might watch and see how he runs here, and maybe we play him next time. But he's very quiet and just, I mean, you can see he has a bit of a belly on him. So I'll be thinking I think he needs one for fitness. As the horse to his outside, Danzante, will make his second start on the turf. I'll let Andy talk about this horse a bit more. But last time in the paddock, he got a bit washy, he was a bit nervous, and yeah, he's woken up a bit since they put the tack on him, but he's just a lot more relaxed, and that could be a product of this horse being able to run out of his own stall here, as opposed to shipping over to Aquat. Sometimes that has a negative effect on horses, and I just like the way Danzante looks heading into this one a lot more, now second off the layoff and that much more fit than he did last time over at Aqueduct. Greg?
All right, Maggie, thanks. Our post parade for this nightcap coming up momentarily. We're on the turf here, and there's always a lot of opportunities on the New York Racing Association circuit to race on turf. Here's Tracy Egan with a new face at Rock Ridge Stud, who fits that bill of a strong turf pedigree.
Any frank conversation about this 6-year-old son of Quality Road begins with his good looks.
Very correct, 16-2, and very well balanced. Everybody that's seen him has actually basically either bought a breeding right or a share in the horse.
The handsome stallion is a multiple graded stakes winner and Grade 1 placed horse on the turf. And he was precocious enough to break his maiden, then place in a Grade 3 at Del Mar at age 2. The breeders who attended the Rock Ridge Stallion Show this past January are very aware that NYRA runs many turf races, and so they are looking to breed for the turf.
The way he's booked this year, he's got a full book of mares. So far, we're 2/3 of the way through, and he's stopping pretty much every mare that he's bred.
So the conversation continues with expectations for outstanding foals, and a lot of them, next spring.
Well, frank conversation. Third in the Hollywood Derby, won the Twilight Derby on turf, also won the El Camino Real Derby.
You must have seen him race a lot, Paul. Race out in California?
Yeah, I mean, he won on a lot of different surfaces, you know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I mean, I have mixed feelings about the horse.
5 or 6 surfaces?
Yeah, right?
Gonna glass.
I mean, yeah, it's true. That is true. And they have employed about 7 or 8 different surfaces out in California. I mean, God knows what's anything anymore out there.
Here's our post parade for the nightcap, and this is a first-time starter. Captain Courageous Kendrick Carmouche looking for a third.
I thought he was a little interesting. His trainer hasn't had success with maiden claimers first time out, but he's got pedigree to handle it, that's for sure.
8-1 on the debuter for Jorge Abreu. Here's the 3 Magnesite, David Donk.
He did improve in his one turf start with a third-place finish. I thought he got a very good trip that day.
Another first-time starter at 10-1. Awesome Mystery sent out by Jeremiah Englehart. Dylan Davis rides.
Only $1,500 they paid for this son of Awesome again, so I don't know if that's a great sign, but 10-1.
Danzante by one of my favorites, Disco Rico. He was such a good sprinter. He actually won on the undercard on Preakness Day years ago.
Loved him. Terrific sire as well. This one had a bit of a trip on the turf, and he's the trip horse you want out of that race.
Soup Baby, 40-1. Can you make a case?
No, I can't.
Yeah, he's only been on the turf
Yeah,
twice.
I
Has
had a
not
Seinfeld day with
done
Soup Nazi
much.
at the Chase Stadium coming up.
Early retirement, speedster
No.
with Raylu Gutierrez.
As you can tell, I called it Chase Stadium, so I haven't had it out there in a while. City Field. But this is the one that's probably the one to catch here.
Do you play at Shea or City Field? That's the real question.
Give the man a cigar. Jose Lizcano aboard. Rider change.
Happy to get back on the grass. He actually ran very well in this last grass race, 2 back, when he's involved in the wicked pace.
Roll Tide. He gets on the turf for the first time. He didn't show much on dirt. Joey Martinez aboard.
Yeah, 46.5 length loser last time, so 32-1 could be generous.
Kid Chocolat at 32-1.
Oh, well done.
Well, it goes out for Steve Bick's DT stable. He will need some help.
2 AEs get in. Here's one of them. Lori's Candy, Sam Camacho Jr.
Better hope that cut back in distance helps.
And Jack the Cat does drop in class. Interesting for Tom Albertrani, second time out.
Yeah, Tom really doesn't crank him first time out, so I can understand why the horse was 19-1. I give this horse a little bit of a look because the field's not great. You're getting 5-1.
That is your field. I'm going to take a look right now at the second choice on the board. Give the man a cigar, who 2 back on turf. Just missed by a nose. Had the lead late in the race, got caught.
Ran very, very well. He was involved in the fast pace. The horse actually I bet on, and he drove that one on the ground. The horse to watch is the number 10, Danzante. Junior Alvarado obviously does not want to get caught super wide, so he seems to sort of take the horse in to try to save a little ground. But I got to tell you, and that was a decent job because he splits. Inside of him is the horse, the Mega Horse, who gets a very good ride. I thought American Cell, but I'll tell you, Junior's having some fits with this horse, and I'd be curious. I don't know if Maggie noticed or anything, if they made any kind of change in the blinker, because this horse is kind of lugging in and hanging a little bit here. I'm wondering, though, with a little more experience, if he can run better today. No thoughts here?
I didn't love that run. I mean, he got clear, and he didn't show any
finish. I thought he was fighting with him a little bit, but
I think when he got so clear, you could see him switch to his long range. He really got ripped there at the wire. That was a bad beat. But he switched to his long lead, and the two had so much momentum, went right by him. That's a tough read, that race.
Yeah, I agree.
You think so? You can like that horse over, give the man a cigar?
Well, I'm not. The problem I would give the man a cigar is that he's had a million chances, and I know he ran well in there.
He's only had 2 chances on turf.
I don't disagree, and he ran fine last time out. I'm just wondering if others can be better. I feel like a horse like Danzante is going to improve a lot. That was his second career start, first start in a 4-month layoff, and the fact that Junior stays, I think, is a very good sign. And I really think he's going to be more professional and improve off that. That's my hope. And I also wonder if early retirement is going to outrun, give the man a cigar for the lead.
Oh, here's Magnesite, who was in that race as well. It was his only turf try. That was just the second start of his career. Now he gets on the turf for the second time.
It was a good race. It was a good race, but
I don't like him.
The cut back in distance.
Thought he got a great trip in that race.
You get Eric Cancel.
Thought Eric rode him terrific that day.
He rode him again.
Dropped over inside.
Yeah, and it was first-time blinkers. He could improve.
Why couldn't he improve second
time
on the turf?
I just thought Danzante ran better. That's all. They were close together the wire, and I thought Danzante ran better.
The key horses here, what do you do with the 1 and the 4?
Greg
the 2 first-time starters. Because the 1's got a great pedigree for the turf. The 4, I would probably lean more towards the 1, but Jeremiah Englehart's split. He's 29% maiden claimers, and he's 21% turf sprint. So he's got some real stats.
Talking about Awesome Mystery, the $1,500
yeah,
Awesome again?
Exactly. What do you do with the 1 and 4, the 2 first-time
I
starters?
pitched the 4 Awesome Mystery as a first foal, and there's no turf pedigree. I'm using the 1.
Out of a Danzante, by the way, out of a Barron's Mare, great one for James Bond, who was a terror in the handicap division for a while. Send it downstairs to Maggie for more.
And I know Andy asked about Danzante and the equipment he's wearing. He's wearing the exact same equipment that he wore first time off the layoff. I think it was just him being a bit rusty and not having run in a while, because he was fairly nervous that day pre-race, and today's a lot more calm. So I think we'll just see a lot more of a professional effort. He sits at 7-2 as of now. On the outside, taking a drop in class is the 14 Courageous Cat progeny. Bookending this field is Jack the Cat. He was a heavy dude in that April 18th race. Just didn't look fit at all. He's still pretty heavy, but he's a little bit more tucked up. Obviously, the class relief is going to help him out a lot. I don't have anything other to say than that I do feel as though he's probably a little bit more prepared for this start. We'll see. He's interesting. Taking a little play at 5-1. Guys?
All right, so gets in off the also eligible list. Dropping class, second time Tom Abertrani, and he's 5-1 right now.
You know, the maiden special weight to maiden claiming drop is what a lot of people would say the biggest drop in racing. And it is a very important move. I think it's less significant with New York bred restricted races. Sometimes those races can be much more interchangeable. With open company, it is a huge drop, not as much the state breds. Did you find that in California, Paul?
Yeah, because you make a great point. Like, you look at a horse like that costs $1,500, the 4. Who's going to claim that horse for $40,000?
Well,
Who's going to claim Jack the Cat for $14,000?
Look at Give the Man a Cigar, who's running maiden specials.
No one's going to claim the horse for $40,000.
Yeah, it's just not the same. Right, exactly.
So the drop isn't that big. You're right. You make a great point. Now, if it's 20, then the horse might be claimed. That's a bigger drop. So down in California, you can go down to 20.
Let me ask you a question. Who in this race is going to be upset when they get claimed?
Nobody.
Right.
They're going to literally put the money in the bank, run to the bank with it.
Well, the bank may be closed.
Yeah, my favorite.
Monday, so.
It's late on a Friday.
A slow drive.
7-2 on this one right here. This is the horse they got to catch.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. This horse was claimed, and you see it's owned by Toby Sheets. Private purchase, excuse me. Toby Sheets, for people who don't know, is the assistant trainer for the Steve Asmussen barn in New York all year round. While Steve and his assistant, Scott Blasier in Saratoga, Toby handles New York all year. He does a sensational job. So Toby bought this horse for himself. So it's a bit of a misnomer. Now, this
he's
horse...
Steve's boss here.
He is? Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool.
It's kind of neat.
And I would take full advantage of it.
He's thinking of firing him, actually. His first race was that odd mile and an eighth race at Saratoga. He was involved in a wicked pace that day and ran well. The question I have for him is, what is he going to be most proficient at? Would he be better off stretching out and sort of controlling on the front end? I'm wondering. This is a pivotal race for him. He needs to run well today.
He's never run a race on a fast turf, sprinting. He's got some yielding races. He's drawn some bad posts, the 10 holes, 9 holes. I mean, if he's going to run, you're going to see him run today. Like, I have a feeling he's going to be part of the mix definitely early. We'll see if he sticks around late. Yeah.
He's supposed to go.
Yeah. Definitely.
And the public agrees with Andy. They like Denzante. He's the 3-1 favorite right now. I look at that stretch run, and I cannot get very excited.
I think a lot of what Maggie said is true off the layoff, kind of rusty and just needed the race. Listen, on the other hand, in a big field, I'm betting a 3-1 shot a little bit on the come. So I don't think he's a good gamble at 3-1. I never thought he'd be 3-1 in this race, to be honest.
I'm surprised the 9's not the favorite. I really am. Compared to the exotics, to 4-1, and it's Lascano looking for a hat trick. This is a rider change, and I think a big rider change.
So 3, 5, and 8 are covered in the pick 6.
They're covered in the pick 6, yeah.
Kind of odd. A little bit random, right?
Yeah, a little bit random. I can understand 3 and 5.
No 9. Why no 9, though? 3 and 5 are the same race. You'd think they want the horse to beat both of them.
I would like to know what's behind Jose Lascano getting a late change, getting on the 9 here. Leading rider at the meet.
Right?
Well, I mean, he's getting on a horse as one of the favorites. Manny Escobar, obviously not here, the original rider named. And if you're his agent, you're Jose, and you can get on one of the favorites. I don't think Manny Escobar's here. He doesn't regularly ride in New York. And listen, Jose, Jose made the greatest career decision staying here this winter, had a sensational winter, and it's really carrying over. It's good to see. Good rider, good guy.
All right, we'll see how it plays out here in the finale. The 9 now is the favorite. 5-2 on Give the Man a Cigar. Can Jose Lascano pick up a third this afternoon? Let's head it upstairs. John Imbrial with the call. You're watching America's Day at the Races on MSG Plus and Fox Sports Prime Ticket.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Slow beginning for number 4, Awesome Mystery, and he trails the field. Danzante is going out for the lead along with Soup Baby, and Early Retirement is next in third. On the outside, Laurie's Candy runs in fourth. Then it's Give the Man a Cigar next in fifth. Captain Courageous down on the inside runs in sixth. Kid Chocolate is in seventh. Jack the Cat on the outside runs in eighth. Then it's Magnesite in ninth, followed by Roll Tide in 10th. As they go around the far turn. The quarter went in 22 seconds. Up front, it is Danzante. And on the outside, that is Laurie's Candy. As the field comes into the stretch, it is Danzante with the lead. Gaining ground is Give the Man a Cigar, Give the Man a Cigar, and Danzante. And the two of them are together. Laurie's Candy is third. Late run here from Jack the Cat, but Give the Man a Cigar has now opened up. And it will be Give the Man a Cigar. Jose Lezcano getting his third win today. Jack the Cat was second. Magnesite came on for third. Captain Courageous was fourth.
Give the Man a Cigar, and maybe we should to this rider right now. Leading rider at the meet 3 today for Jose Lezcano.
Wow, you talk about much the best, just ranged up on the outside. And your horse broke so sharp, I don't know if it was good for you.
No, I don't think the 5 was helping me in the front end. But
yeah.
He wasn't winning the race. Could he have been second? I suppose it's possible. But, I mean, when you see a horse win a turf sprint like this by as much as the 9 Give a Man a Cigar one, he was just a hour the best.
Yeah, and he got bet down to 3-1, and Lezcano was just so confident with him. The 14 ran a bang-up race. Jack the Cat with Bravo. Yep. I think he sweeps up here for second.
And the Magnesite.
But they had the exotics right, drilled. They just didn't want to bet this horse on the win money.
Missed the pick six.
And they missed the pick six. You're right. You're right.
Carry over tomorrow.
Carry over.
Races 19 through 25. 7 through 12 on a 12-race card.
There's a long card. Look at the start. Watch the 11 here. The 13 and 14 both get carried out a little bit as a result.
Yeah,
and the 14 winds up running second.
Yeah, the 14 runs a bang-up race and doesn't have to go out too far, but still anytime you lose ground, the 4 was the one that sort of dwelt to start and got left. And that's why we cost $1,500, because he was way up the track dead last.
That was some first quarter 22 flat, considering they went 111.31. That was a very fast quarter.
I mean, that's the way he ran in the stretch last time.
Yeah, but he didn't go 22. He wasn't going to win. I'm not in any way complaining. There is, you know, maybe he was fresh and he just ran for Junior, and Junior didn't want to get in his way. I'm not knocking Junior, but he went awfully fast early.
He did. Very different from what we saw from him last time.
I just think they tipped their hand. When they tipped their hand, I know Manny Escobar's not here, but they tipped their hand when they put Lezcano up on this horse.
3-1. Give the Man a Cigar. Career start number 15. Breaks through, but just the third try on the turf. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. We'll talk more Preakness when we return. Always Mining, one of the new faces showing up. Can he make it 7 wins in a row on Saturday in Baltimore? We'll be back.
Runhappy was the fastest 3-year-old sprinter of his generation.
Runhappy is stamping his horses. And they all got great necks, great hind legs. They all got a good walk, and this colt moves very, very well. Very smart. He hasn't turned a hair since we had him. First day we turned him out, he was very, very gentle in his paddock and did everything right. He's got an exceptional pedigree.
Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit NYRABets.com. Sign up for a $200 new member bonus with promo code SPRING19 at NYRABets.com.
Back on America's Day at the Races, 3 today. For Jose Lezcano, leading rider at the meet. Teams up with Chris Englehart.
Yeah, just much the best here. Son of Freud, a Regal Classic mare, Gift of Giving. Lezcano with a hat trick. Finally breaks through. I'm happy for this gelding. After 6 seconds, gets the W, 1 for 15 lifetime.
And Chris Englehart wins a very rare turf race. Wonderful trainer whose record on the turf is remarkably bad.
Yeah, and his brother's is remarkably good.
Well, it's his son.
Or his son, I mean.
Pick 4 was $168. NYRA Bet's late pick 5, $1,100 with a 2-to-1 shot, second choice on the board,
and
kicking it off.
Yeah, you're right. 2 favorites in there, nothing really special. You had to get to Fear.
Best value in racing.
You had to get to Fear. That's what you had to get to.
But you just get a $6 horse.
That's unbelievable. That's a great payoff. You just had to get to.
You needed Fear, right? If you had Fear, you hit it.
With
and we
all due respect, tough one to get to.
No, I
we
say
look
that
at the
all
showdown
but
standings.
an argument for the ABC method. You know, he's a C, and you have the others as A's.
Yeah.
That's all.
Is that
we
you?
had
you the big Lou?
That is not who won it.
Oh, I thought he was won it. Who won it?
RBHA. I don't know. I didn't read the whole name. But congrats.
I can't speak that.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Well done. You're playing again. Yeah, Big Lou was in second.
Oh yeah, RBHA 191. Yeah,
that's a lot.
Well done. You can play this each and every day. Go to NYRA.com/showdown. You're competing for NYRA Bet's points and a prize package as well. We asked you this question over the last couple of days. Who do you think is going to win the Preakness? Someone, well, everybody likes everybody else. Not Improbable, not War of Will, not Another Twist of Fate. So overwhelmingly, somebody else. Let's hear what Maggie Wolfendale thinks.
Well, a horse that is taking some money as far as the early wagering is concerned. Granted, I checked the odds board about 40 minutes ago. That's Bourbon War for trainer Mark Hennig, who I've been watching train here leading up to the Preakness. And don't forget, guys, he was just on the bubble for the Kentucky Derby. I think he was outside of Bodie Express. But I like the way this horse is training. Now, granted, his stablemate Carlino was disappointing in the Pimlico Special earlier today, in which we saw the two of them work in the final breeze for Bourbon War, in which those short cut blinkers, which he will wear tomorrow, were applied, and he creamed his stablemate, let's face it. And Mark Hennig citing that this horse not really being asked for more speed necessarily, but just to kind of focus him in a bit more. He said that in his previous efforts, going back to the Florida Derby as well, he got outside, and when he's not amongst horses, he kind of loses his focus. So the blinkers are applied there. Mark likes his inside draw because he feels as though that Bourbon War does get in a bit of a tussle and gets brave in between horses. So I really like the way this horse has been training. He's a horse that I have been a fan of throughout this 3-year-old Derby prep season. And I'm going to take Bourbon War. Just hopefully the price goes up. Last time I checked, guys, he was 5-1 for the Preakness.
He's not a real big horse, but he's going to be the freshest horse of anybody coming into the race.
And looking at the doubles, I was looking at the Black-Eyed Susan Preakness Will Pace. He's the third choice in there. And Improbable is not that short a price. I mean, he could be in the 3-to-1 range if you use those Will Pace. And I think it's that kind of race. Nobody should be a short price.
No, nobody should be a short price at all. And listen, like War of Will draws the inside again. Baffert's really not ultra confident with Improbable when he's ultra confident with all of his horses.
If he wins, we say I knew he couldn't lose.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I have a feeling something funky is going to happen.
Well,
I really do.
You know, I understand the disappointment. Obviously, you want to have a Triple Crown try, and you want to see the Kentucky Derby winner and see a rematch in there. But I don't think people should just be disparaging the Preakness because of that. It's an important race, and it's a very fun betting race.
Yeah, and one of the trainers brought this up the other day. We might have a lot more, I think it was Mark Cassidy, we might have a lot more eyeballs on this race than we normally would because of all that drama and chaos that we had in the Kentucky Derbies. We look at what Bob Baffert has done in the Preakness, looking for win number 8. That would be a Preakness record. Can he get it done with Improbable? For Baffert, at least the pressure is off this time around.
I'm not coming in here with I feel like I don't feel like I came in here with Justify or American Pharaoh. Improbable, he's a really good horse, but you know he's gotten beat his last 3 outs. So those horses came in here with a little bit stronger credentials, you know. So, but all in all, I mean, they're all good horses. I think what we have here is just we have a lot of parity. That's why we have, you know, that's why it's a bigger field. The reason I won those races is because you know I came in here with the best horse, you know, and so.
You think you have the best horse this year?
I think he's one of the best horses.
Mike Smith, the Hall of Famer, will hop aboard for the first time, and this was Improbable earlier today in Baltimore.
Yeah, he's looked okay on the racetrack, feeling his oats. When you looked at that list, the thing that worries me about that list, if looking at Lucky doesn't draw the 1-0, he wins that Derby. All the rest of those horses were Derby winners. This horse was 5th or 6th, and
Point given.
Point given was.
Well, point given, you can't. Okay, well, let's not even put this. I'm sorry, let's not even put this horse in the same class as point given. But Point Given won the Preakness in the Belmont by a combined 20-some-odd lengths. I have a feeling this horse is not going to run. I don't like the tone in Bob's voice. He's usually very confident.
He's okay. I don't love him, but nobody likes him, so he'll probably win.
Yeah, right. There's no one that's a standout in this group, so it could be
just not a great bet at a short price, but he's
War of Will. He was highly regarded, and his connections thought he was a super horse early on the Derby Trail, and maybe he's going to get his chance to show it on Saturday.
I hope he gets a clean trip and he gets a chance to run his race. My problem with him from a betting perspective, he's second choice looking at those doubles. Where is his particularly fast race? It feels like there's 5 or 6 near that have faster races than him that are going to be better prices. That's my concern.
I understand where you're going.
You said that, I thought that race at Star, where you're all the way out in post 14, and I thought that race was so impressive.
It was impressive. The horse has shown flashes. And listen, if nothing happens in the Derby, I really feel he runs first, second, or third from the 1-hole. But he did have a monster great trip. If you go back and you look at the Derby, I've never seen a horse from the 1-hole not get touched till he got touched.
Right, that you're right. Even if you think he was going to hit in the Super somewhere, he was going to do it with a great trip.
Yes.
It was Front Run the Fed getting the job done in our feature race this afternoon. We are back, by the way, on MSG Plus and Fox Sports Prime Ticket on Sunday. No show on Saturday. It's Preakness Day. Improbable, always mining. Could they get it done? We will see you Sunday at 4 Eastern Time. Enjoy the Preakness. Have a great weekend.
Front, a leading sire on all surfaces and all fronts. His recent Grade 1 winners include Omaha Beach, Homesman, Fog of War, Lancaster Bomber, and European champion U.S. Navy Flag, plus graded stakes winner War of Will, and these recent group and graded winners. Sire of the highest price yearling sold in North America in 2018. This son of Danzig continues to dominate both on the track and in the sales ring. Warfront, standing at Claiborne Farm.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you. Live it, love it, bet it.
Runhappy is simply super. He polishes off an outstanding campaign with a dominant victory in the Malibu.
No medication, no problem. Runhappy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and NYRA Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With NYRA Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the NYRA Bets app or visit NYRABets.com. Sign up at NYRABets.com for a new member bonus.